Let me at him!
Well, there it is. Hello and welcome to the first round of Out of the Blue Cup number 1 for the €50. And we're having a mirror match here, human mirror match between Hawk, who is playing as Look Around, and Yaws, who is B2W.Yaws. So, I'm joined today with a cheeky fella known as Andy. Otherwise, if you don't know who Andy is, you might know him as iTrainHume, a fellow YouTuber and a fantastic one of that, who loves his Warcraft 3. But I shouldn't enjoy all of the intro. I should give him some intro. So, Andy, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, quite a challenge to follow that up properly.
Yeah, I went a bit carried away there, sorry.
So yeah, for those of you who don't know me, as Witty already said, you can find me under youtube.com/user/iTrainHume, where I do replay commentaries and some gameplay videos. And today I'm gonna cast only this game, unfortunately, together with Witty, so I hope it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
And let's see how it goes. And Yaws already has gone a bit off the standard with a fast altar, so I'm really curious how he's gonna wanna capitalize from that.
Well, it's risky, isn't it? Because this, as far as we know, is a best of 1 until we hit the semi-finals. So, unless that's changed, but as far as I know, it's a best of 1. So, I would say he's maybe trying to shake up the game and mess with his opponent. But if it goes wrong, then, well, you're out. So, do you think that's a smart move? Or do you think you should just go as straightforward as possible?
I'm curious if he's gonna start he's gonna start creeping and using the water element. So if this was a game with lesser skilled people, I might have guessed for some quick blizzard harassment, but on that skill level, that's totally not gonna work out. So
No.
yeah, he's just gonna creep with militia and the water element right now and immediately start pressuring Hawk. So I guess he just wants to surprise him here, because I guess he knows that in a standard game he's most likely gonna lose.
This is definitely a lot of fun to watch. He's going straight for the main base though. I thought he might actually try to get like the last hits on the creeps as Hawk's trying to take them out. But he's going straight for like the militia and the peasants in the main base. What do you think about that? Do you think he should try to creep jack a little bit?
I think he only has the Archmage and one footman there, so there's not really any point in going where the entire red army is. So I think it's probably the better decision, and he can still try and finish those low HP militia with his footman and water element. And I think Hawk screwed up his creep a little bit, like he took way too much damage on those 2 low HP militia. And let's see if Yaws is going to be able to finish those.
He might even get the water elemental as well. Oh no, I think it was just slightly denied there. And now Hawk moves up to level 2 as well. But Yaws has had a bit of time at that level 2, so he's been enjoying his Brilliance Aura for those extra water elementals. 2 towers coming up as well for Yaws. He's already got 1 almost finished, so he's pretty much set up for like defense versus a counter attack. You know what he could have done though? If he was really paying attention, I mean this is so easy to say as a caster because I can see everything that's going on, but he probably would have noticed that Hawk didn't actually pick up the Circlet Nobility. With the creep, he just went straight back. He didn't even take the time just like to step back a little bit, pick up the Circlet. He could have actually moved over to the creep camp where it was and tried to pick up the Circlet before Hawk went back for it. But that's just me being very picky, and it's very situational, but I like to be like that. I can tell where you're, there's a slight disagreement going on there. Feel free to, you know, slag me off if you wish, I know you do.
Well, yeah, he could have done it in theory, but this was only actually agreeing to you in
Oh, it was an agreement. It was an agreement. I'm sorry, I can't quite distinguish between the two. That's my fault, to be honest. So I'll understand better for next time.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Both players moving up to tier 2 now. Very similar pathway, but another attack coming in here from Yaws. Going for those sweet, soft peasants.
So he's got a tiny bit of attack advantage. He's got a bit more experience, so far this is not going too bad for Yaws, I'd say.
Well, it's not doing too bad, but Hawk almost looks like he's stashing up his mana because he's almost maxed out. So is he going to try to take on a really tough creep camp in a moment with the water elementals to make sure he can secure it?
I guess as soon as
He's
he
in a
hits
good
tier
spot
2.
to do any orange spot easily.
Yeah, yeah. I guess once he hits tier 2, he's gonna want to take the camps in the middle,
Yeah.
if possible both, and maybe get some greater immo potion or greater heal, etc. And maybe just get a good fight with those.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to predict at this point.
Yaws just unfortunately not reacting quite quickly enough in time for his footman. He's stretching all out here. I like his aggression, but sometimes I feel like that can sometimes cost you. I can be aware of that. Is like you're almost overstepping the mark trying to do too much, but he is being very aggressive here, and I think it is worth it overall. Like, it does mess up with your opponent, and Hawk at the moment looking a little bit shaky in response to this. Definitely not microing those militia as much as he should be.
And Yaws is about to hit level 3. He's creeping with his militia, so he's gonna get the level up right now.
Yeah, this is very good thinking. This is chess style, thinking several moves ahead. Oh, that peasant just going down at the very last moment. But it doesn't matter because he got his level 3. So, oh, they both got level 3 though.
And if you look at the resources, you can really see Hawk's harassment paying out. So Yaws' harassment paying out, sorry, because Hawk is not gonna have the number to get a second hero as well as 2 arcanes once he hits tier 2. But Yaws seems to be very scared. He's even getting a 3rd arcane tower.
Yeah, it's going to work in his favour, at least those first 2.
Panda 2nd.
Panda 2nd for Yaws. Yes, it's going to be pretty neat. But we can see a Mountain King being produced at the moment for Hawk. So it's going to be Panda versus Mountain King. Who will win? Ooh, some nasty hits there on the Archmage. Taking quite a few batterings from the arcane towers. Yeah, he's running away now. He's out of it. He's like, peace, I've done what I need to do, which wasn't actually all that much. He did take down one of the towers though, but typically you always have 2 towers, don't you, in Human Mirror? So I'm surprised Hawk hasn't tried to get a 2nd tower up. Particularly since he's been attacked so much.
But maybe it was just because he lost so many militia that he thought it wouldn't be the greatest idea to invest even 70 more lumber into another tower.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to make the most of his tier 2 now. Try and get that rolling. Mountain King is now out. Arcane Sanctums, double, but no Arcane Vaults, so no Clarities or anything like that for the Mountain King to pick up at the moment. Would you say the Panda is a lot more powerful than the Mountain King early game, until like the Storm Bolts come in? Like, they're both actually incredibly capable heroes, especially in a Human Mirror, but I'm still not absolutely sure which one I'd rather have at level 5. Maybe the Panda, actually.
Well, I guess it depends. If there's big breaker armies and you keep the 2nd hero in the back, I think the Panda is the stronger choice, because if you just keep him back, then one priest can completely negate what the bolt is able to do. But if there's like small armies and hero arena, then the Mountain King is obviously gonna be the stronger choice.
Those bash procs as well. When they work in your favour, it's a glorious thing. Hawk's losing quite a lot of footmen here, but he might be able to secure a kill on the Archmage. He's really trying for it, but that is a fast Archmage who does look like he's going to speed away this time. By the way, awesome item on Hawk's Archmage. Sobi Mask and 2 Circus of Nobility, so tons of mana, and then he's just boosting it up continuously.
Yeah, there's no more mana for another bolt, so this Panda might just survive here. But he shouldn't stick around the fountain for too long, because the Brilliance Aura is of course doing some nice work on the Mountain King.
Yeah, that was a risky path he took there. I thought he was going to go right.
Yeah, me too.
It looked like it worked out, just about. Priest is now coming in, and they're in the Hawk's favour, so he's secured his position here by the looks of it. Rebolstered his army, and Yaws is now on the retreat. It's got
Yaws is... I just want to say Yaws has lost a lot of footmen here, so usually what you want to do with a Panda... Oh, maybe I just hold that thought, since they seem to engage at the right-hand side shop.
Yes, it's a little bit of a stalemate there. I think Yaws is just settling for a couple of Ogre Warriors at the top and letting the juicy Ogre Magi go to Hawk at the moment.
Yeah.
Wand of Mana Stealing, that could be so good in this situation right now. Especially versus that Panda.
I think this is going really well for Hawk at this point.
What makes you say that? Because it's kind of hard to tell to some degree.
I feel like what you want to do with if you get a Panda second, the big advantage is that you get him immediately. You just wait for the surround. No. Okay, you get him immediately, so what you want to do is get an experience advantage. You want to have level 3 Panda against level 2, and Hawk has kept Yaws pretty busy after he got his Panda, so in general I think it's a good sign if the player playing Panda doesn't get to creep a lot. But saying that, Hawk just lost a lot of units.
Yeah, he did. That Panda's now 2.5, and the Mountain King's still struggling to reach level 2. Lots of dispels going off now, but there's not so many water elementals to affect with this right now. Level 2 now just hitting on the Mountain King. His priests are now in a bad spot, so he's only really got a couple of spell breakers, and he's somehow pushing Yaws back despite being, what looks like, severely outnumbered, but never mind. That's interesting. Guess he's just really scared of that Archmage Mountain King for some reason. There's a chase for the Water Elemental. He desperately wants the experience. The Water Elemental wants the priests. He's looking back in the main base. There's just more and more priests being spammed out. Loads of priests for Hawk right now. And he's bringing in the militia. He's going for like a secure victory in this middle point. You can see Yaws has actually already done that. He's actually brought militia in ahead of time. So what's he actually going to use his militia for? Maybe to try and take the left middle camp. The Ogre was... that would make sense. More spell breakers for Yaws.
Oh, maybe another creep check. I think bringing those militia in is what got Yaws the good start in the previous fight in the first place. Now Hawk is going to be in a little bit of a sandwich.
Yep. It does look a little bit tricky at the moment. He's trying to make the most of these militia. Almost looks like he's trying to go for a surround there, but he's going to have to back that up, and Yaws really taking advantage there. Pulling back, hitting, running, pulling back, and really picking off a couple of militia. Hawk does get the experience in the creep camp though, and maybe that's all that matters. The Spellbreakers have also basically stolen a fair bit of the Bloodlust, although that's gone now. Nice dispels there from Yaws. Little zealous with the dispels, but he's managed to do the trick and get rid of that Bloodlust, at least on the Mountain King. Pushing with his own militia once more. It's little militia wars at the moment.
And Hawk also has the way superior items at this point.
Yes, yeah.
He's got 2 or 3 charges of one of Mana Stealing, Heat Scroll, Invoke Potion.
Ooh.
So he's looking very good, even though the Panda is level 3 right now.
Yep. So Yaws is going to want to go for like some guerrilla style attacks with this Panda. He's got a lot of money, wants to hit those priests hard and try not to lose anything in the process of doing so.
And he's immediately going into low upkeep. That's very surprising in my opinion. Maybe he just expects to lose a couple of units right now.
Could be some compensation for that, yes, but at the moment he's still suffering the hit from that because he hasn't lost a priest. But now he's about to... Nope, switch might go back onto the Panda. There is a Stormbolt on the Panda. He's in a little bit of trouble. Stealing away his mana. Nice bash proc, but the Panda is still in the spot to run away. Good chase though. And now it looks like the Archmage could be in trouble. Or at least the priests are now vulnerable at the back. Meanwhile, Hawk's priests are kind of safe and comfortable in the middle. And Yaws is forced to teleport out, which is something you do not want to be doing in a human mirror. First one to teleport out. That's a hard hit to take.
And what's really important is that Yaws has 1 priest remaining and Hawk has 6 priests. So all of those are going to benefit from the Brilliance Aura. And once the next fight starts, even if Yaws catches up, he's going to have priests with a lot less mana than Hawk.
He's got a nice secured surround on this. Oh, what an item. Ancient Django of Endurance. I love that one. Mountain King almost being picked off here, but he should be a good spot to get away from this, so that's worth it. Totally worth it. And he gets the Fountain of the Health benefit alongside the priests. Like you're saying, that number of priests is pretty sweet spot to be in right now, particularly versus a Panda. Chucks down that Breath of Fire, but then the priests kind of like heal up vast majority of that damage taken by the time he can cast Breath of Fire again. It's only once he hits like level 5 and starts chucking down the level 3 Breath of Fires is when the priest just can't keep up. What's the deal, by the way? You rarely see Drunken Haze. Do you think these players, when they pick their Pandas, they actually go for the crit passive instead? and just save all of their mana purely for like Breath of Fire?
I guess it depends on personal favor. You could say that in theory, like if a player's really good, like Hawk for example, they are gonna see the panda approaching their priests and just be ready to cast Dispel immediately after the Drunken Haze gets casted. So yeah, Yaws might have skill. You just have to pay attention to crits and misses.
I feel like I just saw a crit, but I'm not sure if I'm just thinking I saw it.
The Pipe of Insight, very unfortunate.
Yeah, but at least he managed to secure the crit camp, but he doesn't have a teleport to get out of this situation, so he's going to have to get himself in a real good position to make the most out of this. That Mountain King has got loads of Storm Bolts in him, he's got a Pendant of Energy and a nice Brilliance Aura from the Archmage backing it up. Oh my god, Hawk is pressing hard here, and this is a real desperate situation for Yaws. He's going to have to try to keep himself alive, but this is looking really tricky right now, and you could imagine a lot of militia coming in. Although there are militia coming in for Yaws.
Yeah, Chi-Chi. By the way, Hawk had 2-1 upgrades there against 0-0. So Hawk was... Yaws was at over 50 supply for a pretty long time, whereas Hawk stayed under 50, invested into a blacksmith, got those upgrades, and just had the more efficient army in the end. And as I said in the beginning, after T2 was hit by both the players, I think Hawk did a really good job distracting Yaws from what he actually wants to do with a Panda second, which is creep level 3 ASAP. And later on he just capitalized on that.
Very good spot there. Very good insights as well. Is this the only game you'll be able to do then today?
Yeah, that's I'm already a little bit late, so that's unfortunate. But as you said, maybe we'll get to do some more casting on Sunday. So thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for having me, Witty, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah,
Bye.
It's definitely been a lot of fun. Thank you very much, Andy. Like previously mentioned, if you want to catch Andy, then you can do so. I train Hume on YouTube, and that will be a link in the description below. So thanks again, Andy, and I guess I'll have to just do this all by myself.
Yeah, have fun doing so. See ya.
Bye. Well, there it is. Hello and welcome to round 2. Echo Isles is the map for us today, and the players are going to be Hawk, known as Look Around, in the War-Free Arena. And he's going to be playing as Human, the Silver Human, the Warcraft 2 Human. It's not light blue, it's silver. I don't care what you say. And he's going straight for it, getting set up. And he's going to be matching up against WarchiefRich, otherwise known as WarcraftRich, but that's purely something I'm trying to start. Hashtag WarcraftRich. And let's see if I can get that flowing. Otherwise, he's known. Sorry, he's known as Huntress Shaped on War-Free Arena. So yeah, he's a Red Night Elf, and looks like we've got a pause going on. What's this about? I hope I'm not lagging. Oh, our extract is out the game. SC. Wenn advins mich in den Cup geten harten and starts to fallen. I didn't get to read the rest of it, but you get the gist. Alrighty, we're back in the game. Oh, we're going to see some Warden player, we're going to see some Demon Hunter. Oh no, really spiky for Rich. Oh noes. Alright, well stay tuned for the inevitable next part. I'm just making up, I don't know. But no one knows what Sexy Time sounds like. So maybe we need to find out at some point. Okay. Well, there it is. Hello and welcome to another game. And this one is, of course, well, it looks like it's Hawk. Playing as Human. Versus who? Sexy Time? Yeah, this is Rich. He's a Night Elf player on War-Free Arena. And he likes to build wisps and then turn them into ancients. I like making ancients. I do that a lot in my games. I build lots of ancients of war and try to kill people with them because it seems funny, because it's not really a productable way to do things. Is productable a word? Yes, Sexy Time. It is a word now, It wasn't before, but now we've officially made it a word. Oh, that's cool. Well, it's been great casting with you today, Sexy Time, but I believe you need to get going, don't you? Yeah, I gotta go pick up my sister from the bus stop. Well, she's at the bus stop, isn't she getting like a ride back home from the bus? No, she doesn't like riding the bus. Oh, so you just use it. Oh wait, I've got some lag going on here. I think it doesn't like my voice impressions. I hope I don't lag again. All right, I got distracted there. I was in the moment there, but this is an important game between two pro players. So if I start lagging, then obviously that's not very good. I've got to concern myself about that. But anyway, yeah, here we go. We're actually getting on with the game now. It is Warden for WarchiefRich. And he's going straight for this creep camp in the middle spot on the right hand side. Mercenary camps in those wisps and get a cheeky Shadow Priest. Perhaps the Ancient of War is doing his creeping thing. Got a footman chasing down a wisp but not continuing with it. Oh, the lightning shield has been spread onto the archer and she's now in a very comfy spot between the Renegade Wizard and the Geomancer. Is the Warden going to get herself a sweet item, because getting a great start with your Warden is going to be very, very important for us as a human player to just dominate them, push them about, bully them basically. So I'm going to get an eye on what this item's going to be, and then we'll have a little look at Hawk, who looks like he might be going for a fast expansion. Ooh, Periapter Vitality. It gives her more staying power, but it's not all that great, and it will soak up Moonwells if... well, actually, I'll need to test that, really, because certain items do. Circlet of Nobility. Not sure about straight up health increases such as that, but anyway, I won't go into too much detail about that. I should probably know my stuff before I actually start talking about that, so feel free to write down in the comments section below if you know that Periapter Vitality screws you over when you try to use some Moon Juice. But I definitely know that Circlet of Nobility and other stat increasing ones do, but this is health increasing. So he's going straight for what looks like a tower. He knows something's up, and he's ignoring that pesky Archmage and a few footmen and trying to go for these sweet peasants that are out of militia mode. At least there's one extra militia coming in here. I think I have seen Hawk try to do that. He uses 4 militia to creep with and then brings another one in. Warden holding her own, trying to get the experience. Oh, Water Elemental destroying that and denying. Looks like Hawk is actually putting some pressure on the units of Rich, which actually makes it a bit tricky for Rich to stay here much longer, because the Warden's soon going to run out of mana and she can't fight off the Water Elemental and the 2 footmen for that long. And then she dances around, because the Water Elemental is only going to last so long. Archmage is chasing hard here. He actually is going to be able to pick off this priest if he can stay on its tail. Meanwhile, he's focusing on getting more peasants back at base. WarchiefRich is getting himself a Tree of Life on the right hand side. Very sneaky indeed. I'm not sure if Hawk's going to be looking out for that, so I'll be very interested. And down goes the priest. Stepping up to level 2 now for the Archmage into that Brilliant Aura territory. Meanwhile, Rich is in not a very good spot, because unfortunately that footman did manage to duck and dive enough between the trees to stop the Warden from picking him off. And Arcane Tower is up now, and the expansion will be up very shortly afterwards. Oh, this is horrible for WarchiefRich right now. Very, very horrible. It does look like Hawk actually decided to go out of his way and look for this Tree of Life on the right hand side, which means that he's probably going to be able to cancel it, and he manages to pick up a priest as well. So that's more creep denial, or rather neutral mercenary denial for Rich. However, Rich looks like he's picked himself up the Berserker, so that's going to be very nice. If the Warden doesn't die, yes, she's okay to get back to base, soak up those Moonwells, do what she's got to do. Yep. He does decide to drop the Periapter Vitality, so perhaps that answers my question from earlier on. Actually, if you drop the Vitality before you heal and then pick it up again after, it is more effective healing, says Sir Knight Dude. So I guess maybe you are right. There we go. That pesky Hawk is not going to be making this easy for Rich now, who's already somewhat slightly behind, I would say. It's not been the smoothest game for him, because he tried to bring down that expansion, or at least do a little bit more damage than he could have done there. And that wasn't so successful, and he's lost his Tree of Life, which obviously he had quite a bit banking on it, but at the very least it could have just been a distraction point. You never know. It doesn't cost that much to cancel these buildings. 25% of the cost. Yes, a little bit, I believe, but it's not the end of the world. If it causes a good distraction point. Rich is doing well to hold off a few footmen, but it doesn't look like that Ancient of War is going to be able to take any more hits, and down he goes. Archmage may be sticking around to do some damage, but it looks like he's running straight off whilst he's running away with his footmen as well. But Rich is just trying to soak up the experience from these footmen. There's a lot of experience, gold to be had now for Hawk as he starts to reach a point where he might be teching. Yes, he is. He's teching towards tier 2. He's almost halfway towards it. Some aggressive moves here from Hawk. He's not really going easy on Rich at this point. He knows he's got a slight advantage point to basically be aggressive because he's managed to defend. He's kept his expansion secure. So the best thing to do is to try and keep his opponent busy, which is exactly what he's doing right now, with Water Elementals harassing Wisps, bringing down Moonwells, just trying to slow down Rich in any way, shape or form that he can do. Bringing down that Ancient of War is pretty nasty as well, but Rich won't be worried about that too much. Once he does manage to reach tier 2, he'll be no doubt picking up a second hero and moving into Ancients of Law territory. So all he needs really is his Ancient of War. No, sorry, that's the one thing he doesn't worry so much about. He needs his Hunter's Hall, and then he's set up for that. I'm saying WarchiefRich, not Warcraft Rich. If I am saying it, I'm saying it so passively, I'm not even realising it. Jeez. Anyway, we've got to remember that Hawk only has a level 2 Archmage here, so it's not like he's super ahead of the game here. And Rich has picked up Panda as his second hero. Oh, Footman just sliding by the Warden there. Distractions, no. Building up again with his army. And Warden was looking out for some some creeping over here, but not quite on the ball, unfortunately. But Panda's definitely spotted the Footman, but is he going to use his Breath of Fire? Yes, he's going to go for it. Nice little pick off here. Warden should be able to secure a hit here, but Hawk, if he's quick enough, might be able to deny the kill. He doesn't manage to get it. The Berserker gets a nice cheeky hit in there, and it looks like Rich is really going for this. He's not got much matter left in that Warden. He's going to chase down. The towers are starting to come up here for Hawk, but he does manage to secure one kill. Hawk trying to get us around there in the Warden, but not quite pulling it off. Warden needs one more kill, just even a peasant, even some crappy level 1 creep, and she'll reach level 3, which is really important. Good Wisp Scout here from Rich, by the way. That's giving him some very valuable information right there. 2 Arcane Sanctums and straight into a Workshop as well for Hawk. So he's going straight in there for the Mortar teams. Early Mortar teams. They're very important versus Night Elf. Ooh, wow. Tree of Life being built closer to the main of Rich. Meanwhile, Dryads being pumped out from the double Ancient of Law. And some aggression against this Workshop. Thanks to the Wisp Scout, it looks like this could be effective, but the Mountain King is coming out now, so he's definitely going to put a lot of pressure on this Warden, making it much harder for her to stick around. Panda's going to have to do some body blocking, I think, unless, the Warden manages to just about escape in this situation. It wasn't worth Hawk throwing any more Storm Bolts, because he wouldn't have been able to secure a kill in that position, unless he was just a little bit closer. Even then, it would have been a little bit risky. We got Panda pulling back here alongside a nice jibe there from the Dryad onto the Ogre Warriors, setting off this creep camp. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, we can see Hawk is deciding to clear his mercenary creep camp, which is going to give him some nice items. But you've got to look at it from this point of view, is if Rich manages to pick off this creep camp, it's the stuff in the middle. So you want to take the stuff nearest your opponent's side as much as possible, because that's essentially experience that you're denying your opponent. If they're just taking the experience... Oh, wow, look at that. Pendant of Energy on the Mountain King. I think that's going to be a theme of the day, seeing Pendant of the Energies on the Mountain King. That's a scary thing indeed. Stormbolt is such a powerful spell, and when the Mountain Kings can spam it out alongside the Brilliance Aura and the Pendant of Energy, you're going to have a bad day. Panda looking pretty good. Stepping up into level 2. Bears shouldn't be too long until they can heal. Giving that Panda all the health back he needs. Yep, nicely timed there. So he's going to go all the way from basically battered to pretty damn healthy. So keep up the creeping patterns, hopefully, as long as he can get there quick enough. If he can distract well enough with the Warden, he might be able to do this. But it looks like Hawk could be determined to go to the right. But he's spotted. Yes, he's spotted Rich on the left-hand side, who's sort of ducking and diving. Oh, blinking out there. in a bit of a tough spot. Definitely wants to avoid the Mountain King as much as possible because that's a large human army. That's 68 food now. Hawk's really stepping it up. Meanwhile, Rich is staying underneath the food cap. He's trying to secure this expansion and he's getting his Tree of Life into a better position. If he can eat a few of the trees and then plonk him down, it might be great for him, but it looks like Hawk is going to be so aggressive in a second. He's going to take this creep camp. He's going to get himself some nice items like the Scroll of Healing, Dust of Appearance, and such, whatever else he can basically fit in there. He's going to go for it. Maybe even an Invulnerability Potion for the Mountain King. That might be a bit overkill, but I wouldn't be surprised if he went for it. Maybe boost his speed. But he's got a strong army here. 69 food. And you can see Rich is eating those trees very nicely. So the Tree of Life is in basically the safest spot he can be, but I don't think Rich has got the army to help defend, and he kind of really wants to keep this expansion because if he loses this after investing quite so much in an expansion in the first place, he's going to be so far behind. We can see militia are now coming in on the left-hand side, so there's this all-in push here. Towers are going to be applying pressure. If nothing else, the militia just turn into peasants, and then they basically become this kind of pest. They're in the way, they block you, and you can't be doing with that. So they're always effective, even when they're not getting towers up. Oh my, that's so unfortunate. That gold mine is not going up, so Rich isn't going to be getting anything out of this expansion. It's going to be so hard to keep this alive. Mortar teams are in a great position right now. They can duck down below here, and it's going to be so hard for Rich to stop this. This is already at half health, this Tree of Life. He's coming in here with his army. The best case scenario is to try to do some severe damage to Hawk's army and maybe have to sacrifice that Tree of Life. Best case scenario, he doesn't have to lose it at all, but I don't think that's really realistic. He looks like he's going for a full-on fight here. Both players very concentrated on this fight. That Tree of Life is safe for the moment now, but Rich is in a real big pickle here. It looks like he throws down the GG, and it's just one of those games where things went a little bit too smoothly there for Hawk. He played fantastically and deservedly so, but he had a good time versus that spot early on versus the Tree of Life that Rich was building. If Rich managed to get that Tree of Life up and take it down, it could have been quite different indeed, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. So well played to both of them. Well, there it is. Hello and welcome to round 3, which is basically the quarterfinals, so I may as well just call it the quarterfinals, mightn't I? And we're going to be watching Xelsing, who's playing as the Green Orc, versus Zeikooo. Although he doesn't have that many O's to justify such an ooh, so I'll just call him Zeikooo. A bit like Psycho, really. I'm not sure if that's his intention, but fair enough. He's the purple human, and we are going to be watching this map on Last Refuge, which is a War 3 Arena map, and this is a War 3 Arena tournament, so rightfully so. I want Zeikooo to go for Mountain King and Blood Mage. I want to see that, but I don't think I'm going to see that. But I do want to see some Blade Master imbalance. It's got to happen. Or it could be Farseer. Rarely see Farseer, especially in these tournaments. I see Farseer less now, actually. I felt like I used to see Farseer a lot more often, 3 or 4 months ago. But it feels like even nowadays, there's almost no Orc players left that actually pick Farseer as their first hero. It's like Blade Master no matter what. Whatever the cost, you go Blade Master. So Zeikoo's going for Archmage himself into Footman, and Xelsing himself is going for Blade Master into Grunts. Backing out with a second burrow, so he's not taking any time shortly at least. I'll be interested to see where he goes with that Blade Master. Zeikoo's obviously going to try to get any creeping he can get done, but is the Blade Master of Xelsing going to be hyper aggressive, or is he going to go for some key green spots? Maybe even an Ogre Magi. I'll have to see. Have to keep an eye on that. Right, let's just get rid of the brackets for the moment. So, don't worry, if you're curious about what the brackets are, and there will be spoilers, check the video description below. But yeah, make sure you don't really watch that until you've seen everything, so it's kind of pointless by that point anyway. So we can see Zeikooo going for some solid creeping here, bringing in a few militia to back himself up alongside the water elemental that cannot tank for shit whilst he's ensnared. But it's okay, militia can take a hit or two as long as the Blade Master isn't picking on him. Does look like Xelsing decided to sell his town portal, as a good Orc Blade Master should, and decided to pick himself up a Circuit of Nobility. So he's coming in here, going to try to get gank, probably hoping to do a finishing shot on the Water Elemental, but the Water Elemental didn't actually get to do all that much creeping, so he's going to go for the Archmage instead and apply some pressure there, which is a very nice job there. So is Zeikooo going to try to just run away this whole time and get some additional creeping done alongside Militia? Yes, I think that's what he's going to try to opt to do, is use his units and creep some spots, anything he can possibly do whilst the Archmage is being chased. But Xelsing's feeling the vibe right now. He's thinking, should I keep chasing this Archmage? He's going to go for the Archmage as long as he can hit him within range, but at the same time it's got to be in the back of his head. Should I be turning around right now to try to pick off one of these creeps, get the last hit, get the experience, perhaps pick up the items? You can see Zeikooo at the moment inside of his base. He's got the 577 gold, 390 in wood. Not seeing a tech or anything like that, so I'm not sure whether he's aiming to expand or whether he's just late on the tech because he's slightly distracted with the creep he's doing. But he managed to get the job done. His militia managed to pick off the creeps. It wasn't the smoothest thing in the world, but I don't think he lost any militia. Gets the item and seems to be able to get away, aside from one peasant getting like a rough time. Otherwise, that's pretty successful so far. Still on the level 1 on the Archmage, which is slightly unfortunate. Archmage now being slightly blocked off by the Grunt there. Blade Master chasing hard. Oh no, this Archmage might actually get picked off if that Grunt blocks well enough, but unfortunately not this time. We can see it tech already halfway through for Xelsing, getting his third burrow, getting ready for the... well, he's getting ready to defend his base. Oh, Zeikooo, nice job there. Managed to do just a little bit more creeping alongside his units and at least get his Archmage to level 2. It's pretty rough when your Archmage is so low level. You want to be able to pick up his level as fast as possible. That Huntsman has ensnared at least 3 units at this point, which is quite a lot, to be honest. He shouldn't have even get to do a couple. He should be out of it. Should be out of the picture, but it looks like he's going to keep going. He's just going to keep going. Those ensnares aren't going to stop, and these footmen are looking rather vulnerable right now. Zeikoo's about to lose one Xelsing. Oh, he might be able to get a second footman here. If he can chase hard enough with the Blade Master, who does have a boost of speed now since he managed to pick one up, and it looks like Zeikoo's going to pick up a boost of speed as well for his Archmage. In his second now. No, he's still got the 600 gold. Now he is. Slightly behind on the macro there, but he's getting an Arcane Vault. But it looks like he's going to be under some heavy pressure right now because of these Grunts coming in here, going straight for the Peasant that's building it. He's not going to last very long. Oh, Zeikooo, no. You've got to keep those footmen alive as well. These Grunts are quite beefy. And the Blade Master's coming in here. He's saying no to the Arcane Vault. Grunts are pushing back the footmen, and it's looking pretty rough right now for the first game for Zeikooo. He's well and truly under control. Second hero is the Dart Ranger from Xelsing, so he's really going to try and finish the game early with the Dart Ranger. I don't think I've ever seen an Orc player pick Dart Ranger as their second hero. At least I cannot remember the last time I've seen this. So this is either some sort of bad-mannered, in-your-face move to sort of like say, yeah, game's over, mate. Or it's just that actually quite an effective, clever way to sort of take advantage of the fact that he has got a strong early game push versus Zeikooo, who is definitely behind at this point. His tier 2 is only just about to finish, and he's going to have to take a while before he can get those arcane sanctums up, even the second hero. You can see his base is now under a lot of trouble. He's actually managing to secure another blockage here with the Altar of Kings as that goes down, but these Grunts are just running amok outside of the base with the footmen that are just left there. Archmage just spent the entire game running around. He doesn't even know what he's doing. I think this is looking very rough because both the buildings at the moment for Xelsing look like they're getting secured. He's moving into Wyverns actually, so this is like extra pressure on top of everything else. We can see those lesser dark minions have been actually incredibly effective. There's 5 of them right now, so they can actually outmatch the militia that come out to try to fend off this attack. Blade Master's just putting so much pressure on that Archmage, not letting him get to stay around. Water Elementals doing what they can, trying to pick off the Grunts, but they ain't going to get the finishing kill, but they will be able to push him back or at least make it harder to stay there. Lots more militia coming out now to try and fend off these skeletons, but then that's lost economy. This is looking really nasty for Zeikooo right now. You can definitely tell he's been shaken by this, big time. This is one of the things that is kind of the trickiest about a human player, is it's quite easy to get messed up at the start of the game, and if you let it get to you, I feel like you suffer more than any other race, aside from possibly Night Elf if they manage to lose enough wisps. But human players, because they've got so many vulnerable peasants and militia, and they get picked off and just bullied early game. The Archmage, again, like I say, needs to sit down and creep as hard as possible, build himself up, but it's not easy at all. When you've got frickin' Xelsing with a Blade Master on your case, and this Dark Ranger just rubbing it in come the Wyverns now. There's no towers up to defend versus it. There's no Sorks. There's no chance there's going to be any Riflemen because there's no Blacksmith, so this is looking... impossible would be a safe bet right now to say for Zeikooo. All the militia are coming out now. Still lesser dark minions, skeleton warriors for you and me. Rolling in there, finishing off what's left of the militia, and a GGGG thrown down there by Zeikooo. So first game going to Xelsing. A very strong start there for Xelsing. Well, there it is. Hello, welcome to the second game in the semi-finals. No, I've done it again. No, I did this last time. This is the first game of the semi-finals, although I'm realizing it a lot quicker this time, so you can see I'm gradually getting better. This is now the first game. So we've got Malameda, who is otherwise known as Rudan in the tournament, and he's a Night Elf player who's pretty damn competent, but I've yet to see him play, so we're going to get to see that this game and just judge for ourselves. And he is playing against the fella that we saw last game who gave Zeikooo a very rough time. So the last previous game and all games up until that point, so basically all the games, the first round, the second round, the quarterfinals, best of ones. Now we're in the semi-finals, so now it's best of 3, and then the finals are best of 5. So we've got our Orc, Xelsing, who loves the green colour, and I can't argue with that. I love the green colour myself when I play Orc, it's so nice. And of course it's Blade Master. One of these games we're going to see Farseer. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day. That's a Simpsons quote, I'm sure some of you got it. Oh, Demon Hunter. Oh, okay, yep, that makes sense. Night Elves do love to go Demon Hunter. Sometimes they like to get a Beastmaster second, and then, you know what? I think I've seen them get a Tinker as the third hero. Almost every single game versus Orc. There must be something to it. Yeah. It's about spamming your opponent with summons and then blocking them and trying to cyclone the Blade Master and do as much damage as possible whilst the Orc can't really reach your army. Oh, nice spot there by Xelsing. Straight on that Wisp. Couple of spears to the face for you. Didn't do much damage though. Can take spears to the face apparently. That Wisp is quite hard. Ancient of War. It's going to do some nice creeping. Here comes the Lightning Shield. Get ready for it, Mr. Wizard, if you will. There we are. Nice job there. Stepping in between. So the Night Elves know what's up. They know how to do this. They've been here. They've done this before. Looks like Xelsing's going to pick up a Claws of Attack +6. You see me get excited. We might get a nice spicy Blade Master this game. What's Malameda going to get? Although I think I'd rather call him Rudan than Malameda. It feels weird to call him that. Now, he's got himself Ring of Protection +3. It's better than Ring of Protection +2, but it still ain't all that. But perhaps is useful as a Demon Hunter tanking versus a pesky Blade Master. It would mitigate the damage of the Claws of Attack +6 at least, but yeah, maybe it works. If he's doing a strong tier 2 push alongside Beastmaster, going for the buildings, and just wants to survive versus like the pressure of the Blade Master on him and the Burrows doing damage, yeah, maybe it's not a terrible item in that situation. So who am I to say, eh? We got Malameda. Oh god, I don't want to keep calling him that. Someone stop me from calling him Malameda. We need to stop this. Okay, here we go. Xelsing. Solid creeping. Grunt enjoying that healing salve. Null Poacher playing nice, not interrupting, and Blade Master is on the prowl. He's coming in here. He might try to start on the Ogre Magi at the back here. He's in a good spot to try and do it. Nice creeping here from Rudan. He's using this Ancient of War to take out the Murlocs nearby, and he's doing a very effective job right now. Not taking much damage from the Murlocs, so he can tank quite well without actually having to worry about Wisps. Meanwhile, we can see that Xelsing did actually go for this crap. Oh, look at that. So he must have bought himself the Claws from the marketplace, which was available, and has got himself a Potion of Invulnerability, and it's a very good one. It's a 15-second invulnerability pot, which is huge for a Blade Master, because that's 15 seconds. He doesn't have to worry about being cycloned again. So that could be really effective if he can hold on to that for as long as possible. It could be so valuable on a high-level Blade Master late game. So Rudan's decided to spot quite a few mercenary creeps, which you typically will do as a night elf because they're so effective. It means you don't have to use your Ancient of War to slowly build archers, and archers get picked off very easily by a Blade Master. Almost anything gets picked off by a Blade Master, but it's a bit tough to bring down the Berserkers. Oh, look at that, going straight in there for a solid creep versus the Priest. Nice ducking and dodging inside of the moon worlds there. Needs to block off this Blade Master. He's still got access to this Night Elf base. He's not going to be able to bring down the moon world, but he's going to do a good chunk of damage to it before it goes up. Look at that. How much damage that Blade Master can do. Really using effective claws of attack abuse there. And even the Wisps are having a tough time getting over this. Grunts still not able to pick them off, so nice use. But that is Moonworld juice that is going, just keeping the Wisps alive. And he's going to need it on this Shadow Troll Priest, which is going to get really battered in a second. Is he still going to keep it alive? Yep, there we go. The trouble with that is it's also soaking up the mana. The mana soaks up a lot of moon juice as well. Blade Master is being pushed back now. Demon Hunter slips by the Grunt and is going to be very aggressive with his boost of speed. The Blade Master doesn't have the boost of speed. Another Grunt coming in here, this time doing a slightly better job there of slowing down the Demon Hunter, who is now going to focus his damage onto a Grunt that he could potentially pick off, provided he doesn't get too blocked. Blade Master enjoying his healing self, thinking of coming back here versus the Demon Hunter. If he's going to try to go for the Grunt, I think he might have to sacrifice. No, he tries to get blocked, not quite successfully there. I think that Grunt might be gone. I don't think he's going to survive this. No. Oh, lovely job there from Xelsing, getting the last hit there from his Orc Burrow, so he denied the experience there. That whole chase for the Grunt was for naught, but at least the Grunt died, so that's one less unit Rudan has to worry about. Oh, nice use here of Ancient of War, once again in the right place at the right time, getting ready to start off the next creep camp and boost up the Beastmaster, which is the second hero of choice, of course. But the Demon Hunter has been caught, and it looks like his Staff of Teleportation is slightly on cooldown, if I can see this right. So he's actually using his Scroll of Temple to get away from this. Ring of Protection's somewhat being useful there, keeping him alive, but not live long enough to use the Staff of Teleportation. So that's pretty nasty indeed. Ancients of Wind really getting away here now. Tree of Eternity being researched, so Rudan's well and truly making progress when it comes towards his tech tree. There's no doubt about that, and he's also being effective with this Beastmaster. Solid creeping, good use here of the Mercs and the Quill Beast he's got here. Solid creeping there. And Demon Hunter, is he going to look for an item to pick up? There's Claws of Attack +9 in there. I wonder if the Blade Master will want to pick that up for later. That's got to be pretty expensive though. I imagine about 300 gold, perhaps even moving on to 400 gold for that item. I couldn't tell you for sure because I'm not absolutely certain. But he's going to pick up a Circle of Nobility. Not a bad item for a Blade Master at all. And the Shadow Hunter is out now. With the Scroll of Speed, I'm sure he's got Hex first. So there could be a lot of damage done to this Demon Hunter if the Hex goes off first. Which you're going to want to do because he's only going to mana burn you anyway. Got double Bestiary play from Xelsing here, which I'm actually liking quite a lot. So no Spirit Walkers, but we might see a lot of Raiders. Unfortunately for Xelsing, it doesn't look like he's going to get away with this Great Haul. Even if he gets back over there, I think that Demon Hunter's going to have his way with it. I'll be very surprised if he gets stopped. He's got like 3 more hits. No, 3 more hits is a huge over-exaggeration. It's only like 1 or 2 at best. Shadow Hunter not quite in range. Coming in here for a Hex. There might be a Raider in Snare. Has it been researched? I'm not sure if it's being researched. No, it's being researched right now. So Shadow Hunter stepping slightly into the Murlocs there. No unit. Oh, there we go. 1 unit getting in Snare. So that's unfortunate for that Grunt. He's getting battered right now. It looks like Xelsing's absolutely determined to get himself an expansion. I'm not sure if that's just a diversion tactic, but I think he really wants to get an expansion underway before these Talons get out of control, which they are starting to mess up now, as we can see. Staff of Teleportation being used wisely after the Ensnare went off there, as Xelsing only has 1 Raider. Raiders can interrupt your Staff of Teleportation with Ensnare, but if you wait for that Ensnare to go off and then use it, you're in a good spot. And obviously, because he's a Demon Hunter, he probably removed all of that mana of the Shadow Hunter there, making sure that he can get a Hex in to interrupt the Staff of Teleportation either. Level 3 on the Beastmaster as well. Very effective creeping here. We see that Rudan's picked up Orb of Venom whilst going back to base and a Staff of Preservation, so he's in a great spot for a fight here. Xelsing's looking in big trouble. He's got a couple of vulnerable units. We've got the remainder of Rudan's army coming in here. Demon Hunter's now passed over the Staff of Preservation to his Beastmaster. So the Beastmaster gets hexed. There's potential here for Xelsing to bring him down, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case because he's going to be able to use his Staff of Preservation before that even goes off. More grunts going down. Beastmaster in a little bit of trouble now. Blademaster is very strong indeed, but he's not choosing to pursue versus that Beastmaster. He's backing off here, getting some heals. Needs to build up some units. He's going again for this expansion, which looks like it's going to go down once more to Rudan's Wrath as he proceeds to head towards this expansion, which is just never going to be anything, is it? We're going to see more raiders though, so who needs an expansion if you have pillage potentially? I don't think I've spotted if he has got pillage. I'll see if I can... I've never done a good job of spotting. Looks like his gold is going up sporadically, so I would assume that he has got pillage here. Although I did make a whole video about getting pillage and then never actually expecting to pillage. I'm sure people have let me know about that. And that's me being sarcastic. Everyone's let me know about that. I'm aware of it. I'm aware of it. I'm sorry. I apologise in advance. Or rather, away from time. But either way, I apologise. I'm sorry. Raiders actually doing a really good job here. Taking down 2 Moonwells, which means that Rudan's actually capped at the moment at 44 food out of 30. Blademaster choosing to use that beautiful 15-second invulnerability potion to try and make the most here, to actually get a lot of damage here, but unfortunately he's going to probably want that for later on. But anyway, it's kept him in the fight for a little bit longer, keep the pressure on, which I think is what he's really focusing on right now, because he's getting screwed at base. He's not getting in his expansion, his burrows are getting battered, and is the Blademaster going to get picked off as he teleports back here? There's potential here. He's not in a good spot, but he can't windwalk straight away, and it does look like Rudan's going to play it calm and just go for the raider that's basically stepped a little bit too far away, doing some damage to the Voodoo Lounge, but I don't think he's going to be able to take it down. There are burrows, but they're not in range. Raiders here, maybe he can actually get this down. He's got enough units, I suppose, but I don't think Xelsing wants to let him, because that shop is so valuable. You've got clarity potions accessible for this Shadow Hunter, which is super valuable at the moment because he needs everything he can get to stay in this fight, and mana's going to give him the chance to stay in it. He's got no way to dispel this cyclone that he's going to be facing right now, which is the biggest issue. Orcs do very much typically go for Spirit Walkers purely just for disenchant. Oh, almost getting a surround there, but not quite. Doesn't seem to matter too much. This Blademaster's in a lot of trouble. He's taking so much damage right now. Still only at level 3, not able to get to a point where he can windwalk, and throwing down the GG. Yep, that Night Elf, Rudan doing a fantastic job there. Very effective creeping whilst using the Ancient of War. Good abusive harass there from the Demon Hunter. He was on the ball there, and Xelsing definitely suffered. Well, there it is. Moving into game 2 of our semi-finals here. Xelsing rocking the green Orc versus Rudan's red Night Elf. I guess he likes the red, or he just goes for it because, heck, it's the first colour you get and he's too lazy to change it. I couldn't tell you. Maybe that's his style. Maybe he just doesn't give a shit. No, don't know. He's going for an Ancient of War. Oh, that is well timed. Look at that. Just as I said it. It's almost like I knew what he was going to build. That's crazy. How could I know that? He might build a Wisp in a second. He's actually hanging out here for some reason. That was weird. Missed a step there. Could have had that Wisp just that second or two quicker, but you know what? I guess it's probably not going to matter all that much to Rudan. He seems like a very capable, solid player, so I'm sure he can make up for that slight fall of not getting the Wisp 2 seconds quicker than he should have done. Maybe he was considering doing something else with that Wisp. Who knows? Xelsing, are we going to see Blademaster? Yeah, we're going to see Blademaster again, of course we are. Why not? I must admit, I would like to see a Farseer at this point, but I'll settle for a Blademaster. They're fun enough to watch, especially when they crit like crazy. Why not, eh? Sweet War 3. Do people at work know I do Warcraft 3 videos? Yes, some of them do. I always tried to keep it secret, basically, for the most part, because my opinion is that if you're into it, then you will find it, basically. If you're not, then, well, I don't really worry so much about you watching it, essentially, at that point of view. So if it's something you're interested in watching, then feel free to basically watch me do Warcraft free content, because then I'm actually sort of entertaining an audience that actually wants to be there, rather than an audience that's come to have a look and be somewhat judgmental, or, you know, snipe and stream snipe me. I don't like being stream sniped, you know that. It's somewhat of an in-joke, I suppose, at work that I do streaming this, but it's valuable. Oh, nice. He's pissed off the creeps there with the bloodlust. That ain't going to last, though. It's not going to issue him too much. He's actually possibly going for a second circlet of nobility here. Yes, he does get it. He can do it, and he still has Windwalk to spare. Enough to get past the Demon Hunter. He actually gave away his position there. If he kept going, he might have actually stayed out of vision. But the Demon Hunters, or heroes in general, can see loads during the daytime. Archer is not going to block off a Windwalked Blade Master, so rough time there for the Wisps. Double Circlet of Nobility means a lot of strength early game, but that could cost him later on. And now that this Ancient of War is down, that's pretty nasty, because Xelsing's lost an opportunity to go for Wisps further in the base. But then again, he doesn't want to get stuck inside the base, so I can understand why he stayed outside. He needs to do some creeping versus, like, say, this creep camp here, the High Priest. I'd imagine he makes his way over to here. Yes, he is. That would be the smart move. He needs to make the most out of this double circuit of nobility, because if he goes for the Hunter's Hall, he might actually be able to do some damage to it, but he wouldn't be able to guarantee get the kill, because Rudan could always uproot his Ancient of War and then put pressure on this Blade Master. So I think going for more creeping is definitely the right road to take. And he's picked up a replenishment potion, which is okay. He's going to use it, get some benefit out of it, but it's not a super item or anything like that. What's Rudan going to pick up? He's already got a Cause of Attack +6. He's got up to level 2 as well. Sentry Wards, I would say, is a much more valuable item in this situation, because bang, there you go. You've got a lot of information for like the next 10 minutes now as to what's going to be happening in the middle.
The town is under siege. Forces are under attack.
So we've got some Huntress defense here, but it's not seeming to phase this Grunt and Blade Masters very much. They don't like this Moonwell. 3 Wisps should be enough to keep it going, but that is quite a lot of repair costs. We can actually see right now, if I'm keeping hovered at the moment whilst we're seeing these peons, that look like they were going to be... Oh my goodness! 2 peons have actually made it through, so if they go to start building something, they'll be able to survive. How are they going to slip inside of the base and go for towers? This is really interesting. I did not spot this on the minimap, but I'm so glad I'm seeing it right now. They have gone straight for towers, so they're going to have to be very quick to build this up. Xelsing's going for a real power play here with that double circuit of nobility, bringing in the towers. He's got a lot of grunts to back this up. Obviously got the war mill back at base, hence the towers. So he's really going for this. He almost had a surround on anything there, which would have been beneficial. The Huntress is going to be enough to just stop one tower going up. And we've got an Ancient Protector being built at the moment. Oh, the peon's not going to be able to take another hit. He's not gone into another tower either. So once again, Xelsing's being pushed back. Rudan in complete control. Unless Xelsing can get a solid surround, it's not quite enough here. And he's going to have to back off once more. The Huntresses can do such a good job of just chasing units down. Even though they're in small numbers versus those grunts, they're just a pest. They're quick enough to run away and just get away with murder, basically, at this point. Rudan is in a really good spot right now. I'd love to be Rudan. I suck at Night Elf and I tend to lose a lot, but if I was just swapping with Rudan right now, I'd be quite confident in taking the victory. So what else is Xelsing going to pick up? Boost of speed? Yeah, you're going to want that in your Blade Master. Especially when he's being chased down as the second hero of Rudan comes in here. Almost a surround on this Demon Hunter. Nearly, but not quite. I see what he was trying to get there. It looked like it's going to get pulled off. But this Blade Master is going to be under threat here. He's still at level 1 at the moment. It's not getting any easier for him. He's at half health. He's not even got his shop up. I guess he was banking a lot more on this sort of tower push that he was going for being successful. And right now he's going to lose his Voodoo Lounge. It puts him miles behind. You can see Xelsing is really suffering right now. He's got AFK peons. This is a much like when humans are under heavy pressure, as we saw earlier with Zeikooo. Ironically, when Xelsing was giving Zeikooo a hard time, it looks like the same case for Rudan versus Xelsing, who's just really getting battered there. Lovely stutter micro there from Rudan there. Lovely little touches like that. Just sort of like stop, move, or rather move, hit, that kind of thing going on there. Didn't quite get surround there. I like this forward thinking as well. He's already got an Ancient Protector up here, so as though he wasn't already in a great spot to be aggressive. He's got this Ancient Protector, which is just going to be a pain in the ass. His Grunts, I don't think they can take care of it too easily, especially if he can root himself down on the ground again. And it's not going to be easy with those Huntresses ready to sort of respond to the Grunts. But they can't take too many hits from the Burrows, as you can see, because Huntresses do have that unarmored, well, armor? Unarmored armor. Yeah, try to make sense of that. I know, right? And they don't do well versus Burrows. Then again, Ancient Protectors don't do too well versus Burrows when they're uprooted, so they definitely need to root down again. Archers, Huntresses in trouble. It looks like Xelsing has a bit of a comeback here for a moment, but it's not quite enough because he still hasn't... He's got that shot just now, but these Grunts that are going to get picked off before they can benefit from the healing cells in a really bad spot there. Ouch, 3 Grunts down, 1 Huntress down for the cost of those 3 Grunts, not quite enough. Burrows being affected, but you've got to remember at the same time, whilst these Burrows are attacking, those are peons inside of those Burrows. They're not gathering as many resources as they should be. That's not enough economy, so as long as Rudan just keeps the pressure up here, which he's basically perfectly able to do, he's still going to outmass his opponent because Xelsing is just using everything he can just to stay alive. Speaking of which, doesn't seem to work for much longer because that Blade Master just went down once more. Oh, dear. It looks bad. Beastmaster might get picked off here, but I don't think Rudan even cares at this point. I think he's quite confident to basically just do what he likes. He can lose his heroes because there's no heroes for Xelsing to actually get the benefit of experience. So he's just going all out here. He doesn't even care. If he does lose it, he loses it. If he gets away, he gets away. It's not the end of the world. He can always get it back. Ancients of Wind are now up at the moment. Ancient of Wonders is going up. Beastmaster is going to come out. Probably pick up a nice Staff of Preservation. Have we got tier 3? Not yet. Halfway through for tier 3. So there's no Orb of Venom yet. It does look like Xelsing's managing to stay in the game. If you're playing for money and you're in it to win it, then you may as well stay. But Xelsing is really behind right now. This is not good. He's teching towards tier 3. So he's not even using tier 2 production buildings here. There's no bestiary. There's no Spirit Lodge. It's just a Shadow Hunter and a Grunt. He can't even get his Blade Master out at the moment because he's still having to wait for the resources to come through. This is bizarre play from Xelsing, I've got to say. I don't think it's going to get any easier for him, to be quite frank with you. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to get any easier. Hyper aggression from Rudan. So I was really happy with Xelsing's aggression, but Rudan's like a hyper aggressive Night Elf player. So that's nice to see as well. I just like aggressive players because they tend to micro a lot. Or at least they force situations where micro is needed. So that way you get fun games. And Talon's just kicking the shit out of that Demolisher. Although Burrow's having a good go at the Talons. And GG thrown down. Xelsing is now out. Rudan takes 2-0 here for the semi-finals. Well, there it is. Hello and welcome to X ? Game between SK Hot, otherwise known as Foggy. I don't know why he's playing as SK Hot, but there you go. He is, I think. He must be, according to the brackets. So this should be Foggy. So I'm going to refer to him as Foggy, even if he's not now. And he's the Red Night Elf at the bottom left of Amazonia. And his opponent is Atheist P. So I don't know what the P stands for, but Atheist Person, maybe? Atheist Player? Atheist Pimp? We don't know. But he is the human, yellow human, so he's the golden human. I like to reserve gold for undead sometimes. I don't like it so much on my human. I know Albert likes gold on his human, yellow human. It does stand out, to be fair. It looks good on Spellbreakers. I'll give it that. I'll give it that much credit. He's going straight for the double farm. He's not messing around at all. Screw the 5 peasants on the gold mine. Don't need that. He's probably speed doing it anyway, so sending those peasants back for the most part. So, as far as I'm aware, according to the chat, this is the first game, but I don't know for sure. So I'm going to go and assume that this is... Ooh, lag. Great. That's bad. Don't know why I get those little spots. I didn't have like much lag at all. I've only lagged one other time, and it's for like 2 seconds at most. So there's some sort of weird thing going on there. But anyway, we've got what looks like Demon Hunter play versus Archmage. So Foggy getting ready with his wisps to scout for that inevitable expansion. Very good spot there with the wisp. You can see quite a lot right now. And the other wisp is stepping out here, getting himself ready. So pay attention, ladies and gentlemen, if you're interested in playing Night Elf and you play on the map Amazonia and you are a Night Elf, well, this is what you bloody well do, apparently. You use that cheeky archer, look at that, ducking in between the Ancient of War and the wisp to benefit from the lightning shield, but definitely wants to make sure the Ancient of War is doing as much tanking as possible. Good spot there between the wizard and the rogue. The wizard. That'll do. The Rizzo. The rat. And he's got some good wisp placement to basically spot when his opponent's coming to gank. Demon Hunter going to be picking up Ring of Protection +2. Meh. Archmage picking up Ring of Protection +2. Meh. But probably better on the Archmage potentially. Not really, but mostly just because the Archmage just tends to get chased a lot by enemy players in my experience. Yaws now with like the couple of seconds of lag. I think we're all going to take it in turns. And you can see the wisp placement here, granting access to the expansion. There's another wisp being chased off by a footman over here. Wisp that can't be reached by melee, I assume at this point. Gives some information for when players are coming through that way. And down goes the last creep there. Farm secured by the Goblin Laboratory. Double built here by the peasants. Is that just because of the supply cap? I suppose so at this point. Yep, got to get those footmen. He's going straight for it. Demon Hunter coming in through the middle, looking for an Archmage to mana burn. He's on the prowl. He's going for the footman instead. He's got a Mantle of Intelligence and a Ring of Protection +2. Really bad items. Meanwhile, the Archmage isn't faring too much better with the Ring of Protection +2 and the Gauntlets of Strength, but I'd still favour the Archmage in this situation for items. They could do a swap maybe, and the Archmage would still benefit. So, yeah, the Archmage wins no matter what. Loads of militia coming out here, but that's purely for the purpose of trying to secure this expansion. He knows he's going to get harassed by Foggy, but Atheist is determined to try to get the experience and secure this expansion. Ooh, a Wisp almost getting a really good detonate there, but didn't quite manage it. So that's a huge blow there for Foggy right now, because if he managed to get a really... Oh no, another Wisp is coming in here. That could really hurt, although that Water Elemental is currently ensnared. He does manage to get both the Archmage and the Water Elemental with that detonate, so the Archmage is really battered. Demon Hunter selecting Immolation as his second ability, getting stuck in there. He is surrounded, but he's getting a lot of damage down. He's even really focusing heavily on the Archmage. He might use his Town Portal. He does go for that. I would assume he did, but I couldn't guarantee it. He's going to be able to get back to base, heal up as fast as possible, and then go back over there and do as much damage as he can. Perhaps that Immolation was enough to basically secure a victory over this expansion point with his Demon Hunter, because there are quite a few low health units there that will get really battered. Down goes one of the footmen, and it doesn't even look like Atheist is going to secure this creep camp completely, because there's going to be one Troll Trapper left behind. Is Foggy going to pick it off? I don't think he is, no. And I think he wouldn't on a tactical basis as well, because that just stops peasants from joining over there and trying to finish it off. Oh, Immolation stepping in here in between the peasants. He might be a quick surround here though, but it's not in his favour to surround. That's the beauty of Immolation. You don't often get to see it, but it is quite brilliant when you do see it, because more often than not, it's actually incredibly effective and game-changing. He's really determined to get this around, but it's just not so great against the Demon Hunter. Once he's got level 2, he's just so much more solid than level 1. There's just... I don't know what it is. He just feels so much more tankier. He has got the Ring of Protection +2, but ouch, Atheist is in a lot of trouble here. He's not getting very successful with his Archmage. He's still at level 2.99999, so he hasn't even got level 3. In comes a Panda as well, so... This is nasty. Demon Hunter going to get a secure kill on this. Well, I would say he would until the invulnerability potion goes off, but it's not going to stave him off for too much longer. He might be able to get a kill on the Demon Hunter, but he's so quick with the boost of speed, he manages to get away. Archer's being pushed back here. Militia coming in, but the Panda's a great hero right now to do some good overall damage versus the Militia clunk up. Yeah, Atheist loses his Archmage, and Panda's now surrounded, but Demon Hunter coming in there for a little bit of immolation, security, and yeah, that was an incredibly rough game for Atheist right there. Foggy had very good control and did not let it go. Well, there it is. Hello and welcome to the finals of Out of the Blue Cup 1. We're going to be having a Night Elf mirror. Yeah, I hear you say. Yeah, you can't wait. Well, neither can I. We've got Malameda, who is better known as Rudan. Very strong, persistent Night Elf from this tournament, of which I have seen so far. He's a beast, basically. Is probably a better way to say it. He's a bit of a beast. And his opponent is Foggy, who is also a very capable Night Elf player. So hopefully we should get some real tight, tough micro games between these two. Screw the macro, it's all about the micro. Night Elf's got quite a lot of micro to it. Oh, that is a sneaky wisp indeed. Are we going to see an Ancient of War? Oh, yeah. Lovely. This is what I like. I said it earlier. If you've got hyper-aggressive tendencies between the players, you tend to get really sort of fun micro battles that can last for quite a while before the game turns into a macro fest and it's all about trying to secure an expansion and then build up huge armies. I love the start of games where it all comes down to like every single move counts, every hit counts. So this is lovely. Now what I'd love to see is if Rudan can pull off the Wisp micro versus this Ancient of War trying to eat a tree. Someone did that to me the other day. It was bloody annoying. Every time I went to try to eat one of the trees, they kept moving the Wisp to the tree that I was going to eat. It's incredibly effective. I did manage to obviously eat a tree eventually, but you can actually slow your opponent down. Even if it's just by a few seconds, it still counts. It's still something. SK hot now. Foggy got his Demon Hunter almost ready. This is a rooted Ancient of War that's going to be continuously doing damage to this Moonwell. It doesn't even have to uproot and eat a tree, thinking about it. He can do if he wants to get closer to the gold mine, but at the moment he can either build Ancient Archers, which he almost looked like he was trying to go for there. He's actually picked up, oh wow, lovely play there from, oh wow, lovely play there. Okay, that's 2 wows already. Wow, just wow. Foggy used the Wisp to detonate, getting rid of the lightning shield, making it a bit tougher for Rudan to try to take advantage of this creep camp, which is obviously what he's going for since he hasn't got the offensive Ancient of War going for him. He's actually decided to try and get the experience from the creep camp, which is going to probably work in his favour overall, but Foggy's definitely made it a little bit trickier by picking up the priest, because it means that's a priest that Rudan doesn't have, and he's lost his archer as well, and priest goes down, but he's done his job for the most part, and it looks like a pretty solid start here as well. Both Demon Hunters trying to fight for position to not get hit by this wizard, and it looks unfortunate for Foggy because he's got the aggro, although he's swapped over now. Look at this, this is what I'm talking about, this hyper aggressive, every hit counts, constantly moving, dancing around each other, trying to get the freaking creeps to attack one another. It's beautiful. I love to see this so much. It does look like Rudan's hand. Oh wow, God. That mana burn, that almost killed him, that almost picked him off. That's a lovely touch. So there's 117 mana here, so if Rudan decides to suck up those Moonwells, it's going to use up a lot just to get his mana back. He manages to get enough back, which is what he was waiting for there, to get enough back to do another mana burn just before his opponent does. And Foggy's now having to run away. A very successful aggressive style of play, which, might I add, is still going on right now. This Ancient of War is still putting pressure. That is really well and truly worth its cost. That couldn't have been a better placement. I think in future Rudan might actually end up putting the Moonwell just a little bit over here just to stop that from happening again. At least Rudan's got to finish off this creep camp and pick up himself a priest and a berserker, so he's got a nice little army. He's going to have a little bit more to deal with this Ancient of War now, but I'd definitely say that's a hyper value Ancient of War there. Very nice. Ooh, wow, Foggy opting for a Huntress style of play. He's got Huntress Hall and double Ancient of War, so he's going to really be pumping out those hunts. I can't see him going towards tier 2 anytime soon, unless he wants to, well, hang back a little bit more. Nice scout here. I'm not even sure if that was fully intentional, but that's incredibly fortunate nonetheless. Rudan goes to build a Hunter's Hall. I think he intended to hide it, so he built it over here, but incidentally came across the Ancient of War of Foggy building, which was supposed to be a secret Ancient of War. So that worked out quite nicely. Both players kind of getting little advantages above each other, sort of like here and there. Oh, lovely. That Ancient of War getting a few hits there. on the tree, the priest, so that's lovely. Gets a bit of 100 damage there or so. Working out quite nicely for him. How many huntresses do we have in play? We've got 2, 3. No more being built, so a tech might occur. Oh, unless it's a tree of life instead. So it looks like Foggy's opted to get himself a tree of life whilst this is going on. So he's in a good place, to be honest. He can mass up units. He's still got aggressive sort of like play going on, which is forcing his opponent's hand to be defensive, which means that he can probably get away with this tree of life going up. Whether he can secure the expansion is another matter, but we'll look at that as the time comes by. For now, it's definitely working out very nice for Foggy. This is a really bizarre play, but he's done a fantastic job so far. It just goes to show how effective that Ancient of War can be when you put it in your opponent's base. Sexy Time would love this. He would be going nuts for this right now. He loves this kind of stuff. I love this kind of stuff. I try to put 3 Ancients of War in my opponent's base, which you can do at the start of a game. It won't necessarily work out for you too well, but it is freaking funny. I'll tell you that. Wow. Okay, so this Ancient of War of Foggy's looks like it's finally dealt with. And, yeah. Rudan's going try hard here at the moment, or was. He's decided to head back to make sure he can kill this Ancient of War, but I thought he was going to try to do some extra creeping on the side whilst his Ancient of War finishes it. Now this Tree of Life is almost finished, and we've got Foggy, who's got 4 huntresses at the moment. He still hasn't teched to tier 2. Doesn't really need to, but I suppose he might want to, because the second hero is going to give you quite an advantage, which, speaking of which, we can see that Rudan has a Keeper of the Grove as his second hero. Spotted a sneaky wisp there from Foggy, who can see where his opponent is, what he's doing. He's going for the creep camp. He's going to try and get access to that Ogre Magi, a sweet item, maybe some stuff from the shop. You never know. And this has been secured, this creep camp over here for Foggy. That's a lot of huntresses, but I'm starting to wonder whether that mass huntress is going to backfire in some way, shape or form if Rudan can manage to make the most of his tech advantage. Get enough Dryads and be able to use their piercing damage and slow in effects to basically essentially make the huntresses somewhat inert. But we'll have to wait and see for that. Who said Knight of Mirror sucks? So far it's pretty damn good. I'm actually quite curious to see how this game is going to work out, because this is pretty curious. I mean, this is good stuff so far. Both players concentrating on the creeping now. You've got your action at the start. Lovely bit of micro, but I'm telling you, because of this creeping going on, you're going to see some more micro come up, because look at that mini-map. What's this fella up to? What's this Rudan guy up to? He's checking for an expansion, and he's about to find something fishy going on. He gets in there first with the mana burn, getting a good start against the level 3 Demon Hunter of Foggy. So that's nice, he's got the level 3 Demon Hunter. Nice items as well, Ring of Regeneration. So as long as he can keep that Demon Hunter nearby, it's not too bad. Huntress is going to take quite a lot of damage here from the Berserker, but then again the Berserker is going to be chased down by the Huntresses as well. If he can pull back that, oh, he decides to just flat out deny the kill, not even letting his opponent get one hit on it. He's really pushed back this aggressive style, well, aggressive, what's the word for it really? It's like an aggressive poke, I would say, because it wasn't an all-in or anything like that. He was just trying to do some damage to an expansion, but it's really not worked out. However, the tech advantage does go to Rudan. He has the bears, he's got adept training, he's definitely got tier 3 almost researched, so it won't be long until Master Bears. And we've only just now got this expansion secured for Foggy. So he's going to need a lot of units, or at least really needs to get that tech going to secure himself and that expansion versus the inevitable bears that will be massing. And they're not going to be easy to deal with. Huntresses, not the worst unit versus bears, but they don't really have that much of an impact, so you've got to be careful with that. This gold mine definitely needs to get filled up ASAP. Foggy doesn't really have the gold. I guess he's spending it on like mercs and anything else he can pick up from the shop, which he's bought a scroll of healing right now. He's got the rejuve as an option for his Demon Hunter. We can see he's got the boost speed, 2 circlets of nobility, a ring of regeneration, a scroll of healing, which is going to be very beneficial for the huntresses as long as he can distribute the damage evenly amongst them. He can get the most bang for his buck from that scroll of healing. It's incredibly effective item there. And like I say, he's got that rejuvenation, which he just sold. He could have used it on the Demon Hunter. It wouldn't have been the worst thing. I couldn't imagine you get much gold for it, but I suppose he really just wants to push heavy and strong here as fast as possible, and he's ready to do so. Scroll of Protection. Might he use it now? He might do, because the roar's gone down for Rudan, so he's got himself a good little position here, but he's still slightly outmassed. Scroll of Protection going down. Huntresses need to be microed back and forth. You can get the Scroll of Healing on them. A little bit of lag from me, I think, there for a moment. Oh dear, if I start to continue to lag, that could be a big problem. That shouldn't be happening. I do hope I'm not lagging. I feel like I am, so if I am, someone needs to tell me to get out, because that's not good. Oh dear. Anyway, Rudan's still got his bears. They're going strong. It looks like the Ogre Mauler's just barely alive. We've got more bears coming in here. Dryad and Berserker finally being hunted down by the Huntresses after they've been so pesky. And it looks like the bears are actually starting to mop up the floor with the help of Rejuvenation. And it doesn't look like Foggy has enough staying power in this situation. So the tech is paying off right now for Rudan. He's at 47 food out of, well, 48 food out of 50 right now, and he obviously has tier 3. Meanwhile, his opponent Foggy is at 39 food. He's got quite a lot of gold coming in, more Huntresses, and still at tier 1. So we're in a real bit of a pickle here right now, where Foggy is getting a little bit trapped into a situation where he's having to force himself with Huntresses and Mercs, whatever is available to him right now, because he just doesn't have that tier advantage. He doesn't have the tier 3. It's not there yet. And we didn't even have the tier 2, so he's really in trouble. And that Keeper of the Grove, that second hero, is going to be building up step by step. As soon as he hits level 3, it's going to be really tricky. Rudan coming back here, nice and strong with the level 4 Demon Hunter. He's got Scroll of Town Portal, and that's going to be very nice, but I don't think he's actually going to need it, because he's looking pretty strong right now. He should be in a good place to basically potentially bring down this expansion, despite there being an Ancient Protector there and lots of Mercs and Huntresses to defend. I think he could at least hold his own for a while. Probably a situation where he could potentially take it. He's got a Scroll of Healing, he's got Gloves of Haste on the Demon Hunter, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability to keep him going so he can soak up quite a lot of damage, and even the Preservation just to save a bear. Keeper of the Grove's just going to be a pain in the ass for these Huntresses as well as the Ogre Mauler, just chucking down entangles, making them somewhat useless and doing damage as well at the same time. Good use of the Wisps. Detonating inside of the bears is pretty useful indeed here. You definitely want to try to reduce their mana, just to reduce as many rejuvenations as going off. But there's so many bears now, it's going to be very hard to try to out DPS that source. The Mercs at the moment for Foggy aren't looking too clear, or, you know, oh dear, it's just not looking good as it is. What's the word? It's just not good. Staff Preservation, saving the bear. Rudan, I guess he could use that Scroll of Town Portal, but he still seems fast and nippy enough and not in even enough trouble to actually have to teleport, even though his Demon Hunter's less than 100 health. Bears are just about staying in this. Ogre Mauler finally going down. He does use the Scroll of Town Portal, which is kind of good timing because it's going to save a lot of his units, but he could have potentially stayed there. It would have been a pretty even matchup, but either way, he can do with going back because he's got a shop to benefit from. He's got all of these juicy moon wells, and he can obviously use the rejuvenation from bears to get himself back into the action a lot quicker than his opponent, Foggy, can, who is still continuing to build Huntresses, and there is no sign of tier 2 whatsoever. And Moonwells are in short supply right now. He's got gold, but it's a case of just spending gold to stay alive, whilst your opponent essentially just overwhelms you with more powerful units. Like, not only are you outnumbered, but you're outnumbered by more powerful units. So this is not looking good. Those bears are not going anywhere. Although at least Foggy's trying to take the opportunity here to build himself up. He's got his Demon Hunter up to level par with Rudan, level 4 and Demon Hunter himself. Not terrible items for him, really, considering the situation. Free Circlets and Nobility, it certainly makes him quite a force to be reckoned with, but just looking at this force itself is not quite enough. There's no upgrades for him, despite the dedication. Loads of Wisps now being spammed out. And that's a lot of bears. That's 8 bears. 8 bears heading towards this army, and that's with Roar. Yeah, you can get rid of the Detonate, but I'm sure we'll see another Roar soon in a moment. We'll be missing out on an opportunity, but I suppose the Wisp is sitting there to try and deny it, but it's been taken care of now. So the bears, there we go, another Roar. These are bears, they've got so much damage. These Huntresses do not stand a chance in this situation. They just do not hold up. It's interesting to see it, but unfortunately it was not enough versus the tech advantage. The only way you could get away with doing what Foggy did there is to put that expansion down earlier and quicker. Well, there it is. Hello, welcome to the game 2 of the finals in this Night Elf mirror matchup. We're playing on Turtle Rock this time, and we might see some more aggressive Ancients of War because, well, guess what? Both the players are in close positions, and Turtle Rock close positions is basically about as close as it gets as a map goes. I don't think either player is going for the risk of scouting first, though. It looks like they're quite adamant on trying to get that Ancient of War up so they can start creeping the turtles early on. So there's no Ancient of War abuse just yet, which is a real shame because if they did just scout, they could do rinse and repeat the same strategy. Although, to be fair, it didn't exactly work out too well for Foggy, did it, after all? I think it did, but maybe not enough. It did what it needed to do, but it didn't exactly win the game for him at that point. It just made it awkward for Rudan. Maybe not awkward enough. Has anyone seen the game with the Dark Ranger and the Fire Lord? I don't know if that's ever been done, Dark Ranger and Fire Lord, before. I can't find that game if it has been done. Got Demon Hunters being built for both players, so no Priestess of the Moon first. Heck, Foggy could have gone Priestess of the Moon first if he was focusing that much on Huntresses. Although, I suppose, if he knew he was getting mercs, only so many of those mercs are going to truly benefit from the aura that the Priestess of the Moon has. Ooh, where you going, Wisp? Oh, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to tickle those little turtles and piss them off and mess up this fast creeping start that Foggy was hoping for. Meanwhile, Rudan's getting off to a cracking start. See, I don't get to see this very often because I rarely ever get to see Night Elf mirrors, but this is essentially what Night Elf players do to each other. And it seems to be pretty effective, actually. You can see that Foggy's got off to a much worse start than Rudan has, simply because of that annoying Wisp. So Rudan's much more solid at the start here. It's not like game breaking, but it's the little things that count, really, in these matchups. Specifically when it is a mirror matchup, it's definitely the little things that count. Moonwell placement at the back here, alongside Hunter's Hall. I'm not sure what that was quickly cancelled, whether that was a Moonwell or... Oh, I see. It's an Ancient of Wonders, I think, just so he could get over the food cap. He's at the 21 out of 20 food cap there for a moment. Cheeky. Oh, a starting mana burn there for Rudan. SK hot, although he's slightly ahead, actually. No, they're both on about the same there. Just whoever gets to do damage with the moon mana burns. Lovely Mantle of Intelligence there for Foggy, so it's not like things are getting any better for him, but then again, we've only got Cloak of Shadows right now for Rudan, so not like either player got a fantastic starting item here. So it comes down to really what they can get up to in terms of creeping past this point. Oh, that was really cheeky. I'm surprised that Ancient of War didn't go for a bitch slap there on the Demon Hunter. He was well and truly within range, maybe he just wasn't upset enough to do so. So, the tech is underway for Rudan with this Hunter's Hall at the back. Is that for the Ultra Fission? I wonder, because... Oh no, it's for the Huntresses, so he's going straight into Huntresses, not even depending too much on Archers, so I guess this is what Night Elf players do. There you can see. Yep, both players are now researching, although Foggy's slightly further ahead on the Ultra Fission. And it looks like Foggy should be in spot to get the boost of speed first. He's trying to slow down Rudan and then get access, and he's got it. He's secured himself the boost of speed, and he's done a mana burn. Oh, really nice there. That was the funniest old sound I think I've ever made in a while. I did not mean to make that kind of strange noise, but there you go. I guess that's what happens when you do something cheeky like that and just tickle me. It's very nice indeed. Oh, Rudan. That is horrible. He's got to bring his Demon Hunter in here to try to tank some of the damage with that Archer. Oh my gosh, he just got away with it. And these trappers are so bloody annoying, consistently ensnaring. And on top of this, Foggy's coming in for some aggressive Demon Hunter on Wisp action. Very nice play from Foggy. He's coming back here. He's got Huntresses in there. Demon Hunter being a dick. He's just doing what he needs to do in this situation. This is very lovely play. He just needs to sort of not throw it away now because he's looking very solid at the moment at the start of this game. Yep, tier 2. Soon to be had for Rudan. But then Foggy's even further ahead on his tier 2. So as far as I can see in this mirror matchup, it's looking strong for Foggy. He's in a good spot. But I'm not sure where he goes from this. That's a nice Huntress in Shadow Meld form there. Just getting a sneaky head start to see what's going down. So now Foggy's almost getting surrounded there. He's in a bit of a predicament where he's having to run around with these Huntresses that are trying to get trapped. But he doesn't take too much damage from it overall, so he's actually okay. That could have gone much worse, but it didn't, so good for him. More Moonwells for Rudan as he reaches tier 2. We see Naga Sea Bitch picked up here by Foggy, so that's a lovely touch. He's going straight on the Demon Hunter, trying to keep him at bay whilst the Huntress are being chased off. I thought he might have tried to go for the Huntresses, but the Demon Hunter was definitely within range, and applying any pressure towards the Demon Hunter is always useful because he's the main focus that you're going to have in this game. The Huntresses aren't too much of a concern. The Demon Hunter is going to be packing out the damage, so if you can keep him under threat, it's a great spot to be. More Wisps getting crushed right now. It does look like Rudan's bringing his own Ancient of War in here to help defend. Huntresses of Rudan going into Shadow Meld form, getting ready to go back into action as soon as he can try to do the best he can with defense, and he's doing a good job there. Tree of Ages getting a few whacks in here, that's going to be very valuable. It does look like Foggy might be pushing a little bit too aggressively here. There's not all that much you can do other than go inside of your opponent's base, but at the same time it doesn't look like it's going to pay off for him at all. He's in a really horrible spot. He does have the Town Portal, he realises he needs to use it right now, so he went a little bit too far there and is forced to use his Town Portal. Not the end of the game, but not a spot that he wants to be in. Ancients of Law going up now for Foggy. I guess to some degree part of that tactic was to try to delay your opponent's tech buildings, which he did do. His Ancients of Law are halfway finished, and by him teleporting at this point, it's now safe for Rudan to place down his Ancients of Law, which are now slightly behind. This is lovely creeping here, but unfortunately Rudan's not going to stand for that, so I don't think that Ancient of War is going to get much done. Nice swap there onto the Huntress though, straight onto it. Demon Hunter coming in here for mana burns on the other Naga Sea Bitch. And we've got one Huntress down for Rudan, another Huntress being focused down, Demon Hunter's being chased. I don't think Rudan's Naga Sea Bitch is going to be able to keep up, and it looks like she's going to be in a lot of trouble here because she doesn't have much health, to be honest. So if she gets just even one Frostbolt on her. Frostbolt, it's not Frostbolt, Frost Arrow, but Frostbolts are awesome, but they're overpowered. God, Frostbolts, seriously. Imagine it's Storm Bolts, but it freezes you or slows you down for like 5 seconds as well. Jesus. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Bears. Always think bears when you're getting distracted. Bears. Okay, it doesn't look like Foggy actually managed to hold his own to the point where he actually might be able to secure this creep camp or enough of it to get some good experience. We're looking at an aggressive game here, people, because neither player's actually reached level 2 on any of their heroes. This is kind of funny, but we will get it for a moment in Foggy. So he's going to be a big level 2 with a level 7 hero going down there. Level 7 hero, level 7 turtle hero maybe. Turtle ninja. Potion of Greater Healing, 500 health points. Very strong item. Very, very important in what could potentially be any battle scenario. It could easily turn the tides, especially if a player has focused far too much on a hero. They can get big benefit from using that Potion of Healing to sort of like mitigate all the damage that that opponent did. And the Naga Sea Bitch stepping it up to level 2, and she's now going to tank it up as well with the Talisman of Evasion. Not the best item, but maybe it could be a lifesaver for her. You never know. It could be one of those cases where she survives on 1 health purely because the opponent misses. That's what Talisman of Evasion does. It gives you like a... Oh no, she doesn't even want it. Not even the Naga Sea Bitch wants that. Just gets rid of it straight away. Oh my goodness. Foggy doesn't even want his Huntresses. Wow, he's... kills off the item and then his Huntresses as well. Maybe he's just pissed he got rid of the item and took it out on the Huntresses. Who knows what's going on in his mind. I guess he really wants these bears, and they do take up a fair bit of food, and he's getting closer to that cap before he has to go into taxation, so it makes sense for him to get rid of those Huntresses. It just felt like maybe he didn't need to at that point. He could have just killed them off to the creeps and had them do at least a little bit of damage. But maybe if he was going to get creepjacked or something, that could have been a concern, and he doesn't really want the Huntresses given any experience if he can just get rid of them straight off. Either way, he's in a good spot here to take care of this creep camp, which is really good for him because he's going to get a lovely item from the Ogre Lord. Ogre Magi is going to heal up his units if he can just finish off the Ogre Lord, for goodness sake. Medallion of Courage. pretty terrible item, to be honest, as a Night Elf player. It increases your strength and intelligence by 4, but I guess you can look at it from the point of view that it's more mana for the Naga Sea Bitch, it's more damage for her, and it's slightly more health. So it's not awful, there's just much better items that could have dropped there. Rudan at the moment spamming out the wisps, a little low on wood right now. He's keeping hold of his huntresses, and he looks like he's a little behind actually. Level 3 Demon Hunter. Nice items though. Orb of Venom, Potion of Greater Healing, Gloves of Haste, Invulnerability, Scroll of Protection. Naga Sea Bitch got her Staff of Preservation. Although Foggy's now ready, he's got 5 bears coming in here. They've soaked up quite a lot of mana because they're in their sort of like Druid of the Claw form, so they get the most mana they can do, and now they're coming in for an aggressive attack, which is perfect timing right now because it doesn't look like Rudan's quite ready for this. He's still vulnerable, he's having to send back that bear straight away. He's clearly outnumbered at this point. He does have the defense in his advantage, and he has got access to the shop. Should he be able to tank a little bit with his heroes, he can use his gold to build or get the pots that he needs to stay alive just a little bit longer. Foggy's bears aren't looking as healthy as they could do, but he's still got a decent chunk of them. Swapping over the focus onto the other Demon Hunter. Both Demon Hunters under a lot of threat there. Rudan having to use his invulnerability pot to get out of that situation. He's already used the Potion of Healing that he currently had on his hero. Naga Sea Bitch of Rudan being focused there. Wow, down she goes. Never mind, she's out. Peace. GG. So, Foggy coming back here. It's now 1-1 between these two Night Elves. Hello and welcome to Game 3 of Foggy versus Rudan, Night Elf Mirror. Last Refuge is our map, and it's gonna really cause some tensions, whoever wins it, because we're at 1-1 at the moment, so whoever takes the victory here is going to be up to 2-1, which means that they're only 1 game away from victory. So the loser is definitely going to be feeling a little bit of pressure, I would say. No doubt. Oh, Foggy. He's a risky player. I feel like Rudan's like the solid, safe player, and Foggy's a risk. He's a gambler. He's a gambling man. And I'd love to see his gamble pay off this time, because Ancient of War is getting ready to potentially creep the Ogre Magi and the rest of that creep camp if he can get away with it, and he might be able to. It depends how typical it is that Rudan or a fellow Night Elf would actually scout for this kind of play. Like I say, I'm fairly new and unfamiliar with Night Elf mirrors, so I'm learning a lot from watching these, to be quite frank, because I couldn't tell you exactly what these players are going to be doing. I'm not experienced enough to know off the top of my head, or you know, just sort of be, oh yeah, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. But we do have a scout going off, so the wisp should be enough to spot the Ancient of War, so I guess that's all the information you need. Will Rudan's solid, safer style approach pay off, or will Foggy, the gambling man, become rich overnight with 50 extra euros in his pocket? We'll see. We'll see. Start it off, Mr. Ancient of War. Get some solid creep in there. Demon Hunter's going to pick up his item from the Ogre Warrior, and then he's going to want to get straight over here to cause a ruckus because Foggy's going for it. He's in there. This Ogre Magi is slightly out of range, but he's in there enough that he should be able to keep the aggro. Barely can't get that extra hit, but he's coming back for more, so he's coming back for more on the Archer, which you don't want really. And now the Ancient of War's in a better position. There we go. Archer's a bit more snug in between the Wisps and the Ancient of War, and down goes the Ogre Magi. Boom! Potion of Greater Mana is a terrible item at the moment. If a Beastmaster or a Panda or the Naga Sea Bitch is selected once more, could be a freaking amazing item, but at the moment on the Demon Hunter, not a good start. Circlet of Nobility picked up here, or, you know, gotten at the moment for Rudan by the creep camp that he decided to take on, so he's off to a better start, but he is fighting against a defensive Foggy right now, who is obviously creeping, but he's got the ability to just keep running back and forth to this Ancient of War if he needs to, and he's got the Archer continuously plugging away, and now he's hit level 2, so he's definitely going to win that little ruckus, and he's going to finish off this creep camp as well. which is lovely for him. It's soon to be night time. Will he wait around for the boost of speed? It's hard to say. I think he'd go back and heal and then go for the boost of speed. What's Rudan going to be doing? He's going to go for his heal himself. He's already teching right now. He's got Hunter's Hall in the background, starting to pump out Huntresses. Meanwhile, Foggy won't have that advantage because of the fact that he was using the Ancient of War to creep with. So he's decided to tech, not go for Hunter's Hall yet, and follow up with Archers. His Hunter's Hall will come later because all night else are going to be getting a Hunter's Hall, let's face it. Unless he goes for some bizarre, not so bizarre actually, it's unfair to say bizarre, Talon and Archer play, because I've seen that before in high level Night Elf mirrors and it's actually incredibly effective, so he might be going down that road. I'll be curious to see if he does. It's a good move here, by the way, by Foggy as well. He's picked up the boost of speed, but he's picked up the boost of speed from Rudan's side, Rudan's shop. So that's going to be very annoying, not to mention the fact that he's on the case of these wisps. He does a pretty good job actually of just staying on top of Rudan's sort of like economy. But Rudan knows the sweet spots to keep his wisps hidden for the most part, where they can't be reached by melee. That sort of thing does need to be fixed, to be fair. That is a bit cheaty, but hey, if it's in the game, you've got to make the most of it. It does look like... yeah, even though you got the healthier Demon Hunter there, Foggy, I don't think you can stand there and fight first. There's another Demon Hunter with 2 circuit nobilities, as well as a little bit of an army to boot. So yeah, run away. Maybe pick up a Dust of Appearance if it pleases you. If not, maybe go for a circuit of nobility and a Staff of Teleportation instead, and dance around with a Demon Hunter. He needs to distract, because that's essentially what he needs, because his Hunter's Hall is only just starting to build now. He's moving towards tier 2. I'll be curious to see what second hero he picks up. Will he go for the Naga Sea Bitch again? I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing a Beastmaster or a Panda like I was saying before. I'd love to see a Fire Lord, but I don't see that happening. That would be a lot of fun. He's coming in here again for some aggressive play, which is fair enough because he's got the Staff of Teleportation, so he can get out of this situation. He's actually really playing smart here, Foggy, because... this is kind of what Undead do with the Death Knight. They just distract an entire army with just one hero, and that's essentially what he's done here. Because if you're going to be building these Huntresses and having these units, you're going to really want to be using them to get yourself experience. Meanwhile, Foggy doesn't have much to lose other than his hero, which is hard to lose because of the Staff of Teleportation. So he's got great sort of like foresight here with his style of play. I'm quite impressed, really. He's doing the right things. Oh, they're not Ancients of Wind. Ah, they're Ancients of Law. I thought for a second they might be Ancients of Wind. I thought we were going to see Talons and Archers. That'd be pretty damn good. Never mind. Never mind. So, what are we going to see from Rudan? Yep, Ancients of Law. That's a given, says the frickin' Keeper of the Grove. You know what else he says? He says, well, there it is. And there's some Wisp harass once more. But a Keeper of the Grove, speaking of which, has stepped out to say, get the fuck off my Wisps. Entangle? Yeah, but then goes his Staff of Teleportation, so... no problem whatsoever. And he could do with going back, get a little bit of health back, and then do whatever the heck he likes, to be honest. Foggy's in a really good position right now as far as I'm concerned. Looks like he's focusing straight for bears. He's not even going to worry about dryads. Rudan's got a good creep pattern going on here, though. He knows his opponent's quite far away, so he can take on a tackle. He can tackle a tough creep camp here and potentially get a nice item, which is a nice item. Health Stone, so that's 500 health if you want to use it. Otherwise, it's giving you health over time, so it's just an amazing potion of greater healing, basically. That has a lot of benefits to it. Another Ancient of Law being built somewhat later by Rudan, so he's not going straight into bears. He's starting off with dryads and slowly working his way towards the bears. That Ancient of Law should be able to go up in time and then research the tier 1 for bears, which is adept training, which allows him to do rejuvenation. And then he's going to hit tier 3 and probably go straight into tier 2 of the bears training, which is master training, which gives them bear form and makes them melee beasts, literally. So that's going to be actually really good timing here for Rudan if he does exactly what I said there. Although he's got a little bit of an issue with wood. He hasn't actually got the wood, but the shredder's there, so that's no problem whatsoever. The shredder's going to take short... you know, he's... hey, you've seen enough of my 4 versus 4 RTs. At least I hope you have by this point. You know how freaking amazing The Shredder is, to be quite frank with you. Oh, I think back to Warcraft actually mentioned that observer tool before. But yeah, there's several things that can make this experience quite a bit more special for you guys, but it's all work in progress at the moment, you know. I'll get there. Just obviously let me know, give me constructive criticism, what you like, what you don't like, and work with me on this. At the moment this video is going out as one big whole video, which isn't super ideal for a YouTuber to do, but I'm going to do it for this one, and it's in contrast to the previous tournament that I casted recently. So, whereas before with the Zodiac Cup I did like, I mean I don't like to sort of split the videos like 20 minutes a piece. I mean that's terrible, to be quite frank. I don't like to do that, and even then I don't like to put it like one game a piece. I like to put the whole set of games that are corresponding to that thing that you are watching in one. So that's your video. So there might be 3 games in one video, because that all relates to if it's a best of 3, there's like 2-1 rather games. So there's 3 games being played there. I like to do that. So that's the way the Zodiac Cup has worked, but the way this one will work is just all the games will be in the same tournament. Although to be fair, there won't be so many games in this one, because there wasn't just that many games played as in comparison to the Zodiac Cup. But again, constructive criticism is a good way to let me know what I should be doing, and also that's pretty unfortunate creep in there for Rudan. He got his rejuvenation freaking abolished by the priest, and then he lost the Huntress, which I don't think from previous experience these players really like holding on to the Huntresses all that often, but he could really do with every unit right now, because Foggy is doing this push once more. He's pretty good with this. As long as he doesn't get off to a rough start. I mean, look at this. I wish I could pause the game right now and just describe everything that's going on. So I'm going to be very quick, but he's got Orb of Fairness, Circle of Nobility, Boost of Speed, Claws of Attack plus 6, that Hellstone, Scroll of Town Portal. He's got freaking 5 bears, more bears coming in, Dryads behind, Naga Sea Bitch, Roar going down. He's looking so strong. Wisp coming in here to detonate on the enemy bears as they cast Roar. Even get rid of the Scroll of Protection, which is a nice item that's going to be negated here. Shredder can't even get in on the action right now. He needs to get in on the action. Any DPS that Rudan can get in here is going to be useful. He's in a good defensive position, but he's also got a good spot on... oh no, Foggy's just used his Hellstone there, so he doesn't want to get surrounded by the bears though, because you can still take a lot of damage. Now it looks like both players are using up their health potions to keep their Demon Hunters alive, although Rudan's still got more health on his Demon Hunter and he's still got that potion of vulnerability. Bears of Rudan are a little bit more trouble, but they're not able to get picked off, so Foggy, unless he can get his Demon Hunter in there just to pick off a couple of bears, is so important right now. Bring down their mass numbers, but Foggy's not doing too well either. These bears are going down quickly. It looks like the defensive position alongside that shop is really beneficial right now to Rudan, so it's allowed it to stay in. It's this Demon Hunter is having to use that Scroll of Town Portal because he's just about to go down there in a second. So Foggy getting out of this situation. Good defense there from Rudan. I thought Foggy was in a great spot there to be aggressive, but it goes to show that it didn't really pay off all that much. He didn't really do all that much wrong, but maybe there was too much damage taken by the Demon Hunter, which could have been mitigated by a bit more dance micro, where he's sort of pulling a Demon Hunter every time it gets focused and then bringing it back in. Not too much to the point that the Demon Hunter's not doing any damage and being beneficial to him, but it felt like he left his Demon Hunter in a few positions there where he just didn't need to take so much damage as he did. It didn't need to happen. So that allowed Rudan to sort of hold his own there. So pretty effective defense there from Rudan, which actually probably puts him slightly ahead as his bears start to come through, and he's at the 50 food mark. Khadgar's Pipe of Insight, not a bad item for the Keeper of the Grove. He loves his mana. And it does look like the Demon Hunter's kitted up again with his double circlets, and he's got Slippers of Agility and another invulnerability potion just to keep him alive. So important, because the Demon Hunters, like you could see earlier, even with the evasion that they probably take, they can still take so much damage from some bear focus. If the bears can get like 3 or 4 bears surrounding a Demon Hunter, you can do so much potentially. Shredder being picked off here. Nice spot there by Foggy, although his bears are in a bit of a bad start here, and he's only got 4 bears versus 5 there at the moment, 6 at the moment. Yes, this is looking much better for Rudan right now. Foggy quickly losing these bears. Entangle really doing a great job of nullifying them. Naga Sea Bitch kind of as much as the Keeper of the Grove. The Frost Arrows are definitely incredibly effective. Better for sniping right now, but it doesn't look like Foggy's in a position to snipe, as Rudan is the one that is controlling this situation. He's well and truly under control of this, and it looks like he's forcing Foggy to run away here. Entangle actually securing potentially a kill here on the Demon Hunter. Yes, indeed, and a level 5 Demon Hunter for Rudan. GG from Foggy, so it looks like we're moving into 2-1 for Rudan. So very nicely done there. Safe play once again. Doing just enough to keep him alive. Just enough versus those pretty well-timed aggressive moves from Foggy. It's just a shame it didn't go too well for him there. He could have taken the game potentially again there, but just not quite. Well, there it is. Hello and welcome to the 4th game now. 2-1 is the score. 2 wins to Rudan, our red night elf here, spawning at the bottom position. And the 1 win for Foggy, who has tried quite hard for his victories, but has been unfortunately denied. A strong defense from Rudan earlier in the previous game meant that he couldn't quite take victory, even though he was posed to take it. He brought his wisps, he brought all his bears, he had the right timing, but the positioning, I think, cost him the game in that situation. But maybe he has a bit more luck this time round. We're going to see both players going for their creep start, which is going to be the Knoll Overseer. So we'll get to check out what sexy item he's going to drop. It's got to be something big and beefy. Although we don't want Ring of Protection. Had enough of that item. Get rid of Ring of Protection. No one even wants Ring of Protection. Seriously. Get rid of it. Altar of Elders. Yep. You would expect your opponent to build that. I haven't seen a Night Elf go for Beastmaster first. I wouldn't even be surprised. That doesn't seem like a bad idea. Unless Demon Hunter... I know Demon Hunter is, without doubt, one of the best heroes in the game. Hands down. Like, if you had to put them in a ranking situation. But in Night Elf Mirror... I mean, I guess if Moon was still playing, we'd probably see Beastmaster first. I still believe Beastmaster first is pretty strong. Particularly if Foggy wants to go so heavy on Huntresses as he has done in the past. Even Rudan was building Huntresses earlier in the previous game and not even really using them. So that could be really nice. But never mind, maybe not this time. Here we go. That is a long pullback, but it could work as long as he can keep the aggro, which I assume he knows he can do because Rudan is obviously a consistent player, a high level player on the War Free Arena. Both players keeping their Ancient of War all the way back. This is something I'm learning here because typically I build my Ancient of War a lot closer, so this seems to work actually. Make the creeps do the hard work, make the creeps do the leg work, and then the Demon Hunter doesn't have to travel quite so far to get there. Gloves of Haste by the looks of it for Foggy, and for Rudan, Circlet of Nobility. So both good items. I would give slightly more edge towards the Circlet of Nobility. However, Gloves of Haste could be more useful late game. If the Demon Hunter gets more and more powerful with that Orb of Venom, you could spread that poison, yeah, across all of those units. Foggy, he's using this effective 21/20 play as well. Night Elf players doing that sneaky little trick. I need to catch that a bit more. Nice try there. Wisp aggro in the creep camp. At least they're a little bit bloodlusted. I don't think Rudan's going to try to take that creep camp anyway, but if he did, it would have been even nastier. Who's going to get the first mana burn? Who's going to get the first mana burn? Come on, who's it going to be? Place your bets now. Red versus blue. Quick, type in the comment section below. Quick, who's going to get it? It looks like it's going to be fracking Rudan who's coming in here. He's really chasing hard, but then again, you never know. Foggy might just do a quick turnaround and try to get the mana burn in, but it doesn't look like he's going to... Oh no, it's Rudan. He gets the first mana burn. Oh, well done, Rudan. Well done, mate. Well done. You got the first. You can walk away now. That's exactly what he's doing. It's like, yeah, I just got the first mana burn, so my work here is done. See you later. Sweet. And he's going to get himself a boost of speed if he doesn't get too cut up by his own archer here. Oh, the creep camper has been aggroed. The Ogre Magi is starting to put some pressure on the Demon Hunter of Rudan. But then again, the archer is also getting a lot of pressure from causing the aggro in the first place. There's a pissed off Ogre. A lot of tension between these two, but it looks like the boost of speed is going to be picked up by Rudan from the other creep camp because, well, the shops are basically so damn close together. It doesn't actually matter all that much to race for those boosts of speed unless you're chasing down an archer or something. Speaking of which, This could actually end up happening. Oh, Archer, you better hide. Oh! Well, I guess that takes care of that problem. It stops the Demon Hunter from soaking up the health, so maybe that was his intention. I guess it probably was. He knew what he was doing there, sacrificing the Archer. Possibly wanted to get the Shadow Meld as well and not lose the Archer, but if he did, it's not the end of the world. Ah, that Wisp is still getting so punished. Foggy definitely has it in for Wisps. If there's one thing he does, he definitely gives Wisps a hard time in Night Elf mirror matches. We've got Rudan pumping out a lot of archers here this time. So no hunt. Well, he's got the Hunter's Hall at the background, but you can see that Foggy's already built his Hunter's Hall quite preemptively to the point where he's already got a Huntress out, but she's in a bad spot. 3 archers raining down arrows. That Huntress needs to run away. It takes a lot of damage. Still a Demon Hunter ruckus going on in the middle here. No boost of speed for Foggy. I thought he picked up the boost of speed. Well, what do you know? Now he did. I guess he got panicked by the Ogre Magi. Spooked him earlier. Yeah. We got Huntresses just sort of being a little bit pushed away here. I don't think they're actually all that effective. And Keeper of the Grove is now being selected as the second hero once more for Rudan. It's been effective for him so far at this point, so why change it if it works? Now, this Tree of Ages is just chilling at the moment. Is he going to tech to tier 3 after getting his first Ancient of Law? I'm curious to see. Huntress is trying to make a move here for Foggy. Just going for Wisps when they can, but they're not really getting in there. They're not getting much success, and if they did, it would be quite a suicidal pact indeed for those two. Foggy getting his own Ancients of Law secured, and he hasn't tech to tier 3. So Rudan's got this tier 3 style where he goes tier 2, gets his Ancient of Law, and then takes up to tier 3 and then gets his next Ancient of Law. So the timing is quite good for him, but it leaves him a little bit vulnerable. But if he can hang in there that little bit later, then it seems to pay off quite nicely. It's very economical because he's getting extra wood out of that one Wisp that isn't going straight into an Ancient of Law at the same time as the other one. Because Ancients of Law, they tend to be very wood heavy, the units that you get with them, so the slight problem with that is that sometimes you just don't have enough wood and the Ancients of Law are just sitting there not doing all that much. So you could have been using that Wisp actually previously that would turn into the Ancient of Law to actually get the wood first, so that way you can actually use the Ancient of Law once it's up. Yeah, you just heard me right there. Potion of Greater Healing, that's very nice right now. Rudan, always a great item because you've seen in these matchups the Demon Hunter gets focused very heavily, so a solid 500 health item is really important in this situation. He might be able to get a second one. It's going to be a Potion of Greater Healing. You know it is. Come on. Oh no, close. It's a Potion of Greater Mana. That's still not terrible. Keeper of the Grove can enjoy that. Otherwise it could just be a nice solid 200 gold, I suppose. Foggy coming in here trying to look for something. Doesn't get trapped by the Trapper. I would expect the Trapper to be a dick and do that. Rudan just trying to keep a fast pace here. Creep after creep, which looks like it's working because the Dryad's done a little bit distracting there. Enough distraction at least for Rudan to get that creep down and pick up the item, which was only a Ring of Protection +2, but he might be able to hold his own here because the archers can do some good damage, but nah, okay, that does make much more sense to teleport. I thought he might try to defend himself, but yeah, that was definitely the right thing to do there. He lost nothing from doing that other than the teleport itself, which had to be done anyway. He was in the tricky position where he was. But in the bright side for Foggy here, he gets to creep this camp now, and it doesn't look like he's going to be contested for it, as Rudan looks like he's moving up north towards his natural expansion with an Ancient of War ready to start creeping that. It's already pissing off the creeps, so that's a good start there. Foggy's got both of his Ancients of Law. Like I say, one of them normally just sits there until he can build another bear, which he will be able to do shortly. There it goes. As soon as the gold is available, he's ready for it. Foggy looking for some aggressive play. Might do with the creek camp. He's just trying to spot where Rudan is, and Rudan was almost ready for it. He must have spotted it with a Wisp because he's pulled back there, trying to come in with a gank. Keeper of the Grove getting some nice entangles here. The other Keeper of the Grove, not so much because he was on the hero. Dryad being focused at the back there. Good job there by Foggy. Bear being entangled here. That's a nice job as well. Denied. Staff of Preservation used there by Foggy, saving his Dryad. It's a very nice touch there. Lots of entangles going off left, right and centre. This bear could go down though. That's a pretty big deal to lose a bear. So Rudan's not doing so well in this little matchup. But then again, SK Hot, otherwise known as Foggy, could be in a bit of a predicament himself. He's still looking slightly stronger, but he's actually teleporting out of this situation. Maybe because he really just doesn't want to lose the bear to the inevitable entangles that were to come. I didn't think he had to, unless he just definitely didn't want to lose that bear. That's what that was about. So I think we're going to see another sort of aggressive push here from Foggy. He's going to get like the units that he typically gets, the same amount of bears, come in with some wisps and try to finish it, because he wanted every unit, and he essentially doesn't even care about the town portal. He's basically in it to win it now. The town portal doesn't matter at this point, I think, for him. I think he just wants to finish the game. At least from his previous plays, I can imagine him using that style again, because Rudan, once again, as we can see, is pretty vulnerable right now. Again, with this style of slow pacing that he uses, economical style. Although this is a good move from Foggy. If he's not going to be aggressive like he is, he's going to take on a really solid red creep camp and get some good juicy items from this. So what's he going to get? Crystal Bull. Ugh. I even went a bit funny there trying to pronounce that. Jesus, that is not good. Not good at all. He doesn't even want it. Look, he hasn't even picked it up yet. He's just sitting there. He's like, do I even want this in my inventory spot? It gives you information, but on a high level, you want items that are going to produce effectiveness for your army. You know, Ancient of Django, or Django Ancient. Oh, this is one. Warsong Battle Drums. Yep, that's a pretty amazing item right now for these bears. They're going to get a lot of extra damage out of that. So, on top of the fact that that can also stack with Raw. So, yeah, I think Rudan came off slightly better there when it comes to items. So that's nasty, unfortunately, for our friend Foggy here. He isn't going for this push that I was predicting he was going to do, unless he's going to pick up some nice items here. It's kind of too late now. He would have attacked by this point if it was any of the previous games. This is like the mark he would have made his move, if not a little bit before this point. He's still got more units than Rudan, but Rudan's in a spot where he could choose to start to carry up, keep up with his opponent Foggy. We got, what items have we got? We got Gloves of Haste on Foggy's Demon Hunter, Scroll of Healing, Boost of Speed, Claws of Attack +6, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, Staff of Preservation for them bears. Second Staff of Preservation. The actual Gloves of Haste has been swapped over to the Keeper of the Grove. So there you go. Have some of them apples, I suppose. Get some more wood in your face, since that's the way he likes to attack people. He has like this wooden hand, but it seems to shoot some freaking green hawk for some reason. Don't ask me why. I guess it's just an aesthetic thing, or maybe it's just what Blizzard were working with, but I think I'm thinking about it too much. So let's concentrate on the items. We've got Rudan here, who's rocking it with the Orb of Venom, Circlet of Nobility, Potion of Greater Healing, Boost of Speed, Slipper's Agility +3, and a Claws of Attack +9. That's pretty good, to be honest. And of course, he's got those really good items on the Keeper of the Grove, the Warsong Battle Drums. As this army gets ever bigger, it's just going to be more and more effective. He's got Scroll of Protection, Scroll of Healing, Staff of Preservation, and Circlet of Nobility. Very, very good items there for Rudan. He was trying to spot, I think, whether he could get another nice item there for the Red Creek camp, but nope, not this time. Now, both players, I imagine, no, just Rudan so far, are stepping into that low upkeep point. No expansion, not a huge stockpile of cash, but every bear counts. So Rudan, normally the safe player, who I would expect to be the more likely, well, I suppose, yeah, Hot needs to get more Moonwells anyway before he can go up to the next upkeep, but I would expect Rudan to sort of like bank his cash as much as possible. From what I've seen of him so far, it's the impression I would get. But he's going for those bears. He loves those bears. He's only got one Dryad. Apparently you only need one Dryad in these Night Elf mirror matches. You can see a very obvious similarity here. Heavy bear focus. Foggy's got 1/1 bears, and he's upgrading the next level of armor, so he's going to have 1/2 bears at the moment. Meanwhile, we can see that Rudan doesn't actually have any armor for his bears. He's got more of them, but he doesn't have the armor. So if Foggy can have a very successful defense, which he might well get that opportunity since it looks like a battle's about to happen. This is a great opportunity to Foggy to stay, well, I think it's kind of even between the two, so this could give Foggy a huge advantage if Rudan decides to push. So as long as Foggy stays strong, defends, makes good use of his entangles with the Keeper of the Grove, which he's got plenty of entangles to throw down there. The Dry can obviously abolish quite a few of them, but this could be really good for Foggy right now. He's got a great arc here right now. Both players quite defensive, but obviously we've got all these moon wells. Foggy's got access to the wisps. Then again, it's good that Rudan's brought his own wisp. Demon Hunter for Rudan in a little bit more of a pickle. These bears need to swap focus onto this Demon Hunter, keep him under threat, force him to use his potions, force him to use his items. Got heals going left, right and centre, detonates going off. Scroll of Protection still effective here for Rudan until the wisps can come in here and dispel it, but they're not doing anything right now. Demon Hunter still being uncontested there. He's used his potion of healing, keeping him alive a little bit longer, but he wasn't taking enough threat here from Foggy. We've got the Ancient of Wonders going down, so no more items from you. Uprooted just so he can position himself once more. Bears on bears all over the shop. Foggy just escaping with his Demon Hunter here. I think this is kind of freaking bizarre to tell what's going on right now. It's kind of looking like it's slightly more in Rudan's favour, if I'm being honest. Right now, his Demon Hunter is so strong. He's still getting healed. He's not being denied. The bears of Foggy are slightly starting to diminish. We've got 46 food for Foggy, 42 food versus 53 food. The Demon Hunter is getting another heal there. Can the Dryad abolish it? She just needs a little bit more mana, but she can't get rid just yet. It looks like Foggy's really paranoid about it. He's not lost that rejuvenation, so the Demon Hunter stayed in there. He's actually managed to keep a lot of his bears during this dancing phase that he's had with his Demon Hunter being chased, and the chase still goes on. Demon Hunter being so focused there that he actually gets picked off, and that's a big deal for Rudan. He doesn't have to worry about losing out on the bears there. The Keeper of the Grove manages to stay back, but oh my god, Foggy coming back there with his own kill on the Demon Hunter. This is huge. If he gets the secure kill on that freaking Keeper of the Grove, he's being blocked by the other bears. Oh my goodness, if he managed to get that Keeper of the Grove, that would have been so huge. He might actually be enough to get this bear unless he comes out to that form and heals himself up. Keep on that Keeper of the Grove, even though he's getting those heals from those bears. I just want to see it, but then again, he doesn't want to throw this away. He's still looking healthier, and he could be in a position where he could chuck this away. Staff of Preservation, smart move, but this bear cannot be saved. Cannot be saved. Demon Hunter for Foggy should be coming out. No! Where's the Demon Hunter? Rudan might have enough gold to get his own Demon Hunter straight out. Oh no! This is looking very bad now for Foggy. I thought he was actually in it for a chance here to win this. That was really good for him right there. And now Rudan's got both of his heroes back. Foggy's not even getting his hero back from his altar because he's focusing more on bears. Probably because he knows he doesn't even have the time for this. Oh, what a surround on the Demon Hunter. It's not a full-on surround, but this is effective DPS. Forcing a nice invulnerability point. There's a lot of damage. This is what I was talking about. These bears on Demon Hunter focus is really powerful. You can see that's already fucked up. I have to use the word fucked up. I don't often use it in my cast, but that really did F him up. He had to get straight back there. He can get the heals. He can get back. But this is giving Foggy more of a chance. However, Foggy is in a bit of a pickle right now because he hasn't got any mana left on this Keeper of the Grove, which is a really important focus for him right here, because Keeper Grove is all that's going for him, whilst you can see that Rudan has got the double heroes. More wisps coming here for Foggy. Detonate attempts. He has got the bear mass, so he's still got this bear advantage, but he needs to get the Demon Hunter ticking, because that way he can use those bear advantages that he has, which is the overwhelming number of them, as well as the double hero. But there's still no freaking... what is he? He must be getting it from the tavern. He must be aiming to get it from the tavern. There we go. I was like, yeah, how could you not be getting it from your altar just yet? You have to be. This is really close between these two. It's not over for Rudan. He's still got awesome items. Don't forget that. And his powerful heroes, 5 and 4. I don't think that Foggy's far behind. He's got 5 in his Keeper of the Grove and 4 in his Demon Hunter. So it's kind of, yeah, basically the same for the most part. It's really tight, this one. Just need another awesome bear on Demon Hunter surround to really get that effective sort of pressure applied. Definitely. Rudan applying a lot of pressure here. Loads of bears actually starting to come out for Rudan, and more at the base. 42 food out of 60. Now he actually overwhelms Foggy, at least in the long run, although it's kind of even because Foggy's just stepped up his own bear production. So both players, like I say, are basically even, neck and neck. you can look at the resources. 269 and 38 wood for Rudan, 46 food versus 400 or so gold, 50 wood and 43 food. So basically exactly identical at the moment for both the players. Neither has a expansion because they just haven't been in a position where they can comfortably feel like they can secure one because they just want to win this war. So what items have we seen being picked up? We've seen Potion of Invulnerability, but that's on the Keeper of the Grove, Scroll of Healing, and another Scroll of Healing at the moment for Foggy. So 2 Scrolls of Healing and Potion of Invulnerability. Rudan's got himself a Potion of Invulnerability and no Scrolls of Healing, so he's stepping over to this shop, obviously, to try to pick himself up 1 or 2 scrolls. He seems to like the Scrolls of Protection, so I actually imagine he's picked one of those up. Yes, he has. Scroll of Healing and Scroll of Protection. He has strong favour in that. This almost makes me want to test it in my Witty tester. Witty's unit tester, and try to work out whether the Scroll of Protection is actually more effective than the Scroll of Healing in bear on bear situations like this. It's night time. The moon wells are soaked up, but at the end of the day, this is still a defensive position here. Foggy is in the best place he can be right now, his base, but he needs to not get so heavily focused with his Demon Hunter, already taking quite a lot of damage there and pulled at the back, not getting much out of his Demon Hunter whatsoever. That's quite a long time for him to not be doing much. The bears of Foggy are under a lot of pressure here. He's got 1-2 in those bears versus 0-0 bears, and he seems to be slightly suffering here, but then again he's in a great position now, flanking in from underneath. As long as he can keep his other bears alive, not lose these two. Unfortunately, they're going to go down. Doesn't look like they're moving back whatsoever. And these bears are going to go down as well. Slight micro mishap there, but then again, it is pretty chaotic right now. Nice movements here from Rudan, just saving his own bear. Abolish magic, screwing over the rejuvenations that Foggy is using. And Demon Hunter going focus, but Demon Hunter here, no Potion of Vulnerability. Lots of moon wells though to soak up from whatever he can. He needs to keep that Demon Hunter alive. He cannot afford to lose it at this point. The bears of Rudan are starting to rule this world. That Demon Hunter could possibly get focused right now by those 2 bears, but no, Staff Preservation out, and the pressure is still being applied. The bears of Foggy are now being picked off, which is a really bad spot, but then again, we do have the Keeper of the Grove. He doesn't have all that much mana for Foggy, but he could still do quite a lot of damage to these bears, potentially with the Keeper of the Grove, if he can just keep getting those entangles off. Lovely mana burns, they're just picking off ranged hits there on the bears. Nice. Not bad at all. More bears coming in here for Rudan though, so he's still looking somewhat alright, just about keeping his own bear alive. It looks like Foggy's slightly behind. He really needs to hit level 5 with that Demon Hunter so he can just be a little bit more tanky, because that's hurting him, I think, in this situation. Not to mention the whole Warsong battle drums is probably making a little bit of an edge, considering that Foggy actually has the upgrade armor. You know, the armor advantage versus Rudan here. It's the Warsong drums, I think, are kind of like negating those armor upgrades and those damage upgrades a little bit, or at least making them more even than it would normally be. Tree of Eternity getting up in here on the action because Rudan looking a little bit more powerful. More wisps from Foggy rolling in here. He's definitely detonated quite a lot of wisps in his time. He's trying to get a good position, but soaks a nasty mana burn there from the Rudan's Demon Hunter, who's now going for the Keeper of the Grove, who just lost 143 mana of 1 burn. Very nasty indeed there. Tree of Eternity is getting ready for this. Bear unable to be Staff of Preservation out because of Entangle. SK Hot, otherwise known as Foggy, just dancing around with his Demon Hunter, putting pressure onto the Keeper of the Grove of Rudan. Meanwhile, bear on bear action here. Looks like Rudan's bears are going to go down more or less just as quickly as Foggy's bears. Demon Hunter saving the Keeper of the Grove there. It looks like Foggy's actually got the hero advantage here, and he's actually taking care of the bears, so he's in a pretty good spot. That Tree of Eternity looking nice. Level 5 finally for the Demon Hunter, picking off more bears than he can count, because he can't count much whilst he's holding up those glaives on his fingers. Oh my, this is looking pretty good actually for Foggy, as far as it could be. He's even got the Dryad just to keep that sort of threat of the bears trying to run away and keep him poisoned up. Does not want to lose anything else if he can. Keeper of the Grove is at level 6. Staff of Preservation onto the Tree of Eternity right by it. Bear with like 1 health. Freaking do not lose this Demon Hunter, Foggy. Do not lose this Demon Hunter. No! Oh, but the other Demon Hunter goes down. No save there. There's no staff preservation. Is now Keeper of the Grove on Keeper of the Grove action alongside a Tree of Eternity. A Dry going to secure the kill on this bear. Oh no, Rudan's bear is also going to get picked up. I don't think it's going to heal in time. Ah, but what do we have here? We do have the expansion. Meanwhile, Rudan's been moving his own Tree of Eternity, not as a defensive unit, but as an expansive unit. So this bear over here can do some lovely healing with his 1 health. That literally was 1 health. Keeper of the Grove for... Oh, hang on a second. Oh my, he actually sells his items, everything, to get his Demon Hunter back, which is actually a very smart move, because this could give him enough to stay on top of his opponent. He could actually keep Rudan in a lot of trouble here. Keep that advantage, keep that power. Where's Rudan's Demon Hunter? Has he even got enough gold? No, he doesn't. Foggy's in a great spot here. He just needs to make sure that Rudan cannot get any gold back, and he's essentially won this game. Fantastic. He's had the defensive advantage, but Rudan's not made it easy for him. Despite all of that, nice little touch there on the Wisp. 4 Wisps on the gold mine, not 5, thank you very much. Here comes Rudan's Keeper of the Grove. He's got a lot of mana in him, trying to look for an opportunity to do something, but he could just soak a load of mana burns. There's still mana left on this Demon Hunter to get that off. Got to be careful here. There is no Tranquility. I kind of want to see one, but I don't think we're going to get to see one. There's still no hero being built, but you can see the gold is starting to flow in here. So this is really important that Foggy doesn't get too distracted and just concentrates on bringing down that gold mine. That's what I would do. Just leave the Demon Hunter on the Keeper of the Grove and focus the rest. Or even keep the Demon Hunter on this and just mana burn when appropriate. He needs to bring down this gold mine because he cannot... There we go. The Demon Hunter's already starting to come out. He's already at like 20% almost. It's not long until that Demon Hunter comes out. Even though it's level 5 Demon Hunter, this could go on for a while here. However, whilst this is going on, we can see that Foggy is securing his own expansion, which is really important. And yes, that bear is being pinged multiple times. If Foggy could just remember that he actually did save this bear, he could start rejuvenating it now. Or even take it over to a fountain of health. It's risky, but there you go. He's actually got another bear here, and he's going... I think he mitigated the damage there. He didn't take the damage whilst he's going into bear form whilst that. Oh, nice! Mass Dispel there from the Wisp, so he's forced that on Rudan. Unable to get any more gold right now, sitting at 204 gold, but he's still got this Demon Hunter, as you can see, is building up quickly. He's up to about 65% right now. Foggy unsure whether he can really push into this situation. He's not risking it, and he's just trying to keep this bear alive. He needs Staff of Preservation. He manages to get Staff of Preservation off just in time. Another bear saved on barely any health whatsoever. It's looking pretty solid right now for Foggy as he's got this expansion up. But has he got the Wisps? He's got 1 Wisp because he's detonated almost every other Wisp. Oh no, this bear. Why are you so suicidal? He's got that part of his attack move group, definitely. So he's just got to be real careful, otherwise that could get picked off. So easy for that to happen. Demon Hunter almost out now for frickin' Rudan. He's moving his own Wisp. I don't know if he's using it to scout or maybe try to take an expansion, but he certainly hasn't got the gold for it, so he's not going to be doing all that much. Foggy just trying to make sure that he's staying on top. And he's playing the safe game. This is the smart thing to do. When it comes down to this situation, you want to stay on top of your opponent, and you just want to never let them get back up. And that's essentially what Foggy is trying to pull off here, but he's just got to be careful. The Demon Hunter is out. A lovely little mana burn split there all at the same time there. That looked pretty awesome. Focus on the Keeper of the Grove, but bear might get picked off. Staff of Preservation that before he gets freaking entangled again. Thank you very much. Dryad on Dryad action here. Demon Hunter on Dryad action. Oh my goodness. Oh my. It's getting saucy. That Dryad of Foggy could just turn around and hit the other Dryad if he wanted to, but he might just be able to run it away and actually get the kill himself. Oh, Staff of Preservation! Nice cheek there, lovely job. Rudan coming back there a little bit, just a little dig there, and the Keeper of the Grove for Rudan just sitting here trying to soak up as much Moonwell juice as possible for more entangles, because the entangles are a pretty big deal here in these stalemate situations versus a small number of bears. It's pretty important, but this gold mine is really starting to go to work now for Foggy. That's definitely working for him nicely. He's starting to pump out the Dryads now, so it's really good for him. Although, bear in mind that Foggy did sell a lot of his items to get to this point where he could get that Demon Hunter, that 2-hero advantage over his opponent who didn't have that chance because he didn't have the gold. So there's no super items at the moment for Foggy, whereas you can see well, the Warsong Battle Drums got sold, but otherwise that Demon Hunter of Rudan is looking pretty solid for the most part. Not super imbalanced, but certainly not in a terrible spot. And spreading that poison and going on the Dryad is pretty nasty. They go down pretty quickly. He's now managed to secure his expansion. He just needs to fill it up with Wisps. His Demon Hunter's taking a lot of damage here, though. Staff of Preservation on the Dryad. That lovely touch there. Just denying that. I don't want to be lagging right now. Don't be doing that. And we've got Rudan on the run back by the looks of it with his Demon Hunter. He's having to pull back, make the most of the Moonworld juice that he has. Foggy's got his own Moonworld juice himself, and the Keeper of the Grove is soaking it up. Yep. Ancient of Wonders could be really effective right now at this point, since, well, Foggy's had a chance to get back into the game at this point. It's sort of like getting economy going. Get Ancient of Wonders, get loads of clarities, and build up that mana on the Keeper of the Grove. Having said that, the Demon Hunter at this stage with level 5, so he's doing 150 mana burns with 50 mana. It's kind of hard to say that Clarity Potions would really be worth it in this situation if you're against a level 5 Demon Hunter of that caliber. Is he going to get a nice item here? Every little helps. Rune Braces, well, I guess it's somewhat useful. It's actually not too bad, really. If it's passed over to the Keeper of the Grove, it should potentially take less damage from the mana burn. Although then again, it's damage dealt, it's not the mana reduced. And that was a lovely catch there, and the bear that was already rallying towards Foggy's army. But he is dealing with this expansion. He might be able to pick it off. He really wants to get this economy advantage. And it looks like he might be able to just pull it off. He does be my goodness, I'm getting tongue-tied for words now. Oh no! Rudan reaching Metamorphosis, level 6 on a Demon Hunter. That's a game breaker, that one. Can he get the kill on this Demon Hunter? It doesn't look like it's going to happen there easily at all. He's got Staff of Preservations, but that's it. It's on cooldown now. Don't want any more bears in pressure. Keeper of the Grove. Pass over the Staff of Preservation to the Keeper of the Grove if you need to do it. Although the pressure is on Rudan's Demon Hunter. He's still taking a lot of damage here despite being in Metamorphosis mode. Oh, he might get the kill here. Foggy takes it. He brings down the Demon Hunter. And GG is thrown down by Rudan. We're now at 2-all. What a game. What a game. Well, there it is. Hello and welcome to the finals at Melting Valley, the map that no one likes. Yeah? Do you agree with me? Make sure to let me know if you do, because of course you do. So there's going to be like 200 comments of people saying, yes, Melting Valley sucks. But anyway, here we are with the finals, and it looks like Rudan's actually not the red Night Elf anymore. No, not this time. He's the blue Night Elf at the bottom left of the map. Meanwhile, at the top, we have Foggy, who is now the red Night Elf, which is somewhat confusing because I've been used to Rudan being the red Night Elf pretty much all this time. And they like to do these sort of things to play around with us casters. They like to mess with our heads. But we're going to see what looks like an early start on the creep camp. I don't know if he's going to bother with his creep camp straight away with this, or he's just going to go straight for the Warlord, which is a tricky camp to do as Night Elf. You've got the time to do it because this map is longer, and since this is a Night Elf mirror, both players are probably going to be trying to give themselves the advantage, although if we're looking at this, we would suggest that Foggy was just going to clear this creep camp, or at least pick up the item and then move with his Demon Hunter towards this spot here, potentially at the bottom. But that's just a prediction. Doesn't necessarily mean that's exactly how it's going to go. Oh, we've got the Archer being... What you can do actually, at this point in the video, you can actually write in the comment section below if you've made it this far and you're legit, and you can write down, try not to write down spoilers, but obviously people can do, so whenever you're looking at the comments section you should be aware that there could be spoilers in there, but write down who you think will win. So write down like 2-2 Foggy wins cup if you think Foggy's going to take it. Otherwise type 2-2 and then Rudan wins cup. So Rudan, because that's what he's really known as. These guys with their multiple names. Pains in the arse they are. This is a good pull though here with this Ancient of War. This is a nasty ranged creep camp, but everything is in melee range of this Ancient of War, but the trappers are a pain in the ass because they trap the wisps, which then makes it harder to try and keep this Ancient of War alive, who's barely trying to stay alive right now. He needs to bring down this Warlord just so he can stop the DPS. Oh, ugh. He actually had to attack his own archer there just to stop the creeps from focusing this Ancient of War, if you notice that. That's what I would have been doing in that situation. So he's still got that to go for him. Lovely level 2. Potion of Invulnerability, not a bad item. Not very useful early on, but potentially useful later on. He gets to pick up a priest and finish off the creep camp just before Foggy gets there. Although Foggy's straight on this priest who has been ensnared and is still ensnared, so he might be able to get the kill here. It's a pretty big deal actually, getting in there. He didn't... I mean, he's half the experience, so he's only half through level 1, but that's not a bad start. That's 195 gold and like 45 wood or 60 wood or something like gone, basically. For not much. I don't think it is actually much. It's 10 wood, sorry. I was giving it way too much value there wood-wise, but still, that's not a bad start. This creep camp is still secured, and I would say that Rudan still has everything going for him because he did such a powerful creep camp. Still has access to potentially a berserker to come soon. He's in a good spot because of that, but that wasn't a bad comeback there for Foggy. Considering he turned up late to the party, he at least got something to go home with. A bit of the cake. Got these two archers just chilling in the base. Guess they can't really be doing too much at this point. Now, Rudan might be on the offense. No. Typically, Foggy normally likes to go and harass wisps, but he's only got half health and a level 1 demon hunter, so I'm not sure how secure he's going to feel about it, but it looks like he's quite keen to do it nonetheless anyway. Rudan less so. He seems to focus far more on creeping and solid status style of playing, you know. Just trying to keep himself as strong as possible. And wisps can always be microed if one is prepared to do it, but it does look like Foggy is pretty good at picking off at least one wisp or two during his travels into enemy bases, and that's a bad time to run away from the situation and leave your berserker to the horrible trappers. Oh, that trapper just responded there. Look at it! This berserker. So close to getting picked off there. That's 245 gold and about 35 wood, 45 wood. I can't quite tell now. I need to check. There we go. Let's have a check. There we are. 30 wood. Damn it. 30 wood. I can always get the gold right, but I can't quite get the wood right. That's what she said. Okay. Right. Demon Hunter running away here for Foggy, and the level 2 Demon Hunter is soon to be level 3 actually because of his solid creeping. Just focusing on that because Warcraft 3 at the end of the day is a game about building up experience, powering up your heroes. So really at the end of the day, that's why the humans are pretty strong with the Archmage. It is about powering up your heroes more than the little tricky micro things. I love the micro, but at the same time you've got to respect the fact that you need to concentrate on basically creeping at all times, which is very cleverly what Rudan's doing. He's doing what he's been doing in the previous initial games that I've been seeing from him, so it looks very strong for Rudan right now. I'm just going to say that. It looks very strong for Rudan right now because this is solid creeping. Foggy's still at level 1 and he's not got an Ancient of War or anything really going for him right now. It's lovely items there. Ring of Regeneration is a very big deal for this Demon Hunter. He's now hit level 3 with the boost of speed. Still got that invulnerability potion to enjoy later on in a bear mashup. So he's going to be quite comfy indeed. He's doing his Ancient of Law thing. Tech towards tier 3 and then another Ancient of Law. Quite methodical indeed. He really enjoys the Keeper of the Grove. I'm not sure if Rudan always goes Keeper of the Grove second or whether he just does it versus Foggy because it seems to have worked so well. But he's certainly a strong hero so far in this matchup. Not the strongest hero though. I can imagine Night Elf players picking something else instead, but Keeper of the Grove second seems to be very important for securing those entangles. So that seems to be the most value you're getting from the Keeper of the Grove more than anything else, is that security of entangling and potentially killing a bear, a high value unit, before it can be Staff of Preservation out. So that's what I'm assuming that the Keeper of the Grove is all about. Now we can see that Foggy's moved up to level 2. He could actually get close to level 3 here, so he could come back here a little bit. He's still got his creep camp to do. He's got a nice Potion of Greater Healing. Not bad items at all. Claws of attack +6, slippers of agility, boost of speed, so his demon hunter is looking very strong. Oh wow, 2 rings of regeneration at the moment for Rudan. This actually means that he'll be quite comfy to take on this Ogre Lord camp. Tank it very easily with his demon hunter here. It's quite easy for him to take all the damage here and probably heal up a lot of it. What item did he get? Wander the Wind. That's a good 200 gold. Unless you think you can win the game early, then you could always use it and risk throwing enemy units up into the air for high value. He's going to lose his Berserker here thanks to that entangle security, but Rudan's deciding to focus his entangles on the enemy Demon Hunter, but can't chase him down hard enough. Focus switching over to the Dryad now, so we're going to see Dryad on Dryad action. We love that. Oh, Wander the Wind is actually being used, but straight up abolished magic there from Foggy. Very quick reaction, so he must have been paying attention to the items of Rudan to be able to react that quickly. Very fast indeed. So we've got bears coming in here for Foggy, but they've only adept bears, so they've only got the rejuvenation going for him. And archers, relatively useless in this matchup, as we can see. They're just kind of cannon fodder for the most part. Tier 3 almost reached right now for Rudan. So he's getting ready for his master bears as soon as he gets the tier 1 upgrade complete. We've got I don't think there's... Is he going for the granite golem? I'd love it if he was. He's definitely able to if he can get the tier 2, well, master bears, but he's not quite there, so yeah, he has to go for this creep camp over here. Oh no, maybe not. He's bloody going for it. He's really going for it. Okay, let's see how well this works out for him. He's still a little bit away off, but he's got some good DPS at least with a Demon Hunter. Not much else though. We can bring down the rock golems bit by bit. Ancient of War can tank for a little while, but he's got no wisps to heal him up. So he's keeping up there, but it's not too good. It perhaps should have waited a little bit longer for the Master Bears, but this Ancient of War is still going. Meanwhile, we can see the Ogre Lord is just being picked off here by Rudan, who has picked up, I can only assume, the Mana Stone, since that's the last item to go into his slot, which is actually a very good item there for the Keeper of the Grove, unless he's in a situation where he's constantly getting mana burned by the Demon Hunter, but otherwise I would give that a high value item in this situation. He did actually manage to pick up that creep camp and do it quite successfully. He loses the Ancient of War, but it's not a big deal, and now he does this. So pretty good for Foggy actually. He's coming back into this game in terms of like creeping power and sort of like building up his heroes. You can see Rudan's at 3. He's going to hit level 4 probably from doing this, and he'll have a 2 on the Keep of the Grove. Meanwhile, we've got 3 and 2, well, 3 and 3 for Foggy, so he's on the same level, if not just slightly edging it. So he's come back basically after Rudan's done some very clever creeping. Because the thing I like about Rudan from what I've seen in these games is he's a very good Night Elf player. This is essentially what Night Elf need to do, is they need to be creeping with their Ancients of War and their units elsewhere on the map. They need to be thinking, but Ancients of War are incredibly slow. Yet he thinks ahead. He's got this Ancient of War like ready to be where it needs to be. The next creep camp, the next orange creep camp, wherever it is, starting to creep it whilst he's harassing with a Demon Hunter. It's pretty good like that. It's very solid. Most of the time he's actually just creeping with the Demon Hunter. He's obsessed. He's going straight for a Scroll of Town Portal here. He's not interested in staying for this. So that's interesting. But that was the right thing to do. But it was just straight up teleport. Get right out of that situation. It wasn't like a, you know what, I think I can take this. I can defend this. Nope. No, no, no. Not risking it whatsoever. By the way, check the items. 2 slippers of agility plus 3, but they're on the Keep of the Grove. I assume that's a deliberate thing because you can see the Demon Hunter's already got baller items as it is. He's got Medallion of Courage. Strength and Intelligence on the Demon Hunter. I guess for the health, but really that should be going to Keep of the Grove. It needs a bit of an item swap here. I'm not a pro though, so I feel a bit iffy about sort of like slagging these guys down, you know, a little bit until I know for sure. Wand of the Winds still in effect in that inventory slot, but not very effective versus the quick abolish magics. There we go, once more. Although that Dryad doesn't have any more abolish magics, but there are no Wands of the Wind. Nice job here by Foggy, putting lots of pressure onto the Demon Hunter of Rudan. But then again, Foggy's Demon Hunter is now in a bit of a pickle. He needs to make sure he doesn't die. And he's getting a nice little battle here. Can he bring down the bear? He gets 1 bear. Oh, the other bear doesn't quite make it. Oh, well, victory for Foggy there. Very, very nice indeed. That was good straight up bear and demon hunter action. That's, from what I can tell in these demon hunter slash bear fights, it's really important, these night elf mirrors, to try to get your bears to surround a demon hunter and get a good 3 bears hitting the demon hunter. And there's a lot of damage being dealt there. A lot of damage. The guy is pinging again about the bear. He likes the bears that sit there. I can understand that. Foggy doesn't like to pick up his bears once he's sent them back. It's almost like a timeout period. They're being punished. They're in the naughty spot. They need to sit there for 2 minutes before they become active again. So we're still in a solid place between the 2 players where neither is clearly winning, but that was a good little victory there for Foggy. Forcing a teleport, getting a couple of cheeky bears there, also forcing an enemy demon hunter to use the items that he did, but then again they're still on a kind of even playing field from what I can tell item wise. Rudan's slightly favouring the scroll of healing more with 2 of them, whereas Foggy's only got 1. Ah, but there's the scroll of healing right there. Oh no, that was already one he had. He picked up an invulnerability potion instead. Oh snap, that's huge. He's got an entangle on a bear that was actually heading towards the top there, so that's a really hard spot, that, because typically you're rallying towards where your army is, but your army isn't actually up there, so I wonder what that bear was doing there. It's not... That's why the Keeper of the Grave, I suppose, is so strong in this situation. It's because he's so good. If you can just pick off like 1 bear is like a huge deal, to be quite frank. It's a huge deal. More bears spammed out for Rudan as he progresses past the 50 food cap point. There we go. Once again, Foggy working it out. Look at this bear focus on the demon hunter being pushed back to the base. Now it looks like Rudan's fighting this without his demon hunter. And his demon hunter's soaking up the moonwells, but he's still going to have to run all the way back. This gives time for Foggy to do the damage he needs to do. Demon hunter now coming back finally. The scroll of healing's here, so he's got to use them quickly. Foggy losing a bear there. SK Heart. What's he doing there? What's he saying that for in the middle of this? Is he just getting cocky? Does he think he's won already? Perhaps he has. Maybe this is it. He's chucking down the SK Heart. That's what he does. The bad manner shout out to himself. I've got to do that sometime myself. Zeikooo whilst I'm playing and winning. Oh my goodness. Bears dropping left, right and centre here for Rudan. This is horrible right now. He's in such a bad spot. The roar is still prevalent. Strong on freaking... Oh, Foggy, I think he's got this. I think he's got this. We're on the defensive now with Rudan. Inside of the base, soaking up the moonwells by the Ancient of Wonders, but that's taking quite a lot of threatening damage here from the bear. Look how quick it goes down. Oh, they are 2-2 bears, though. First is 2-0 bears. These bears do so much damage, and they're getting a good surround once again on that Demon Hunter. They need to focus once again. Bring all the bears under the Demon Hunter. Do what you need to do. It looks like the GG has been thrown down, and there you go. Foggy takes it. 3-2 to Foggy, and Rudan has to submit after getting battered by the bears. Fantastic games. Alright, thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this, then make sure you follow, subscribe, like and comment. Click all the links in the video description below. And I've been Witty. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you follow me on my Twitch, twitch.tv/Witty. That way you can stay up to date on more streams, shoutcasts, that sort of thing. And you have a good one. Also, give me constructive criticism as to what you think about this video, what you liked, what you didn't like. And I'll see you later. Take care.